we brought you guys all on so we can trash all of your opinions.
But Across the Spider-Verse is not that good.
All right,
First of all, I also think that Corey's hot take was so stupid.
there's one basic visual style. Put filters on it, whatever. It's just real life. It's just people.
You're kind of undermining like how much goes into actually making a live action movie.
But you do the same thing in you do this.
Just saying, like
My
we
feelings
pop a
are
filter
hurt.
on it.
I think James Gunn is overrated as a director. I'm gonna say The Lion King, not a very good movie.
Bro, why are you on this?
Welcome to Backseat Directing.
Where we talk about movies, TV shows, comics, and more.
We're your hosts,
Andrew,
and Aaron.
and we put out new episodes every Monday and Thursday.
And on this special edition, our 100th episode, we're doing hot takes.
3, 2, 1, action.
I mess with it.
Today we have a full house. There is so many people in this room right now.
This is a first for the
studio's
studio.
packed.
We have never had this many people in for a recording session.
Yeah, I think the top we've had is 3 at a time. And right now there's 6 people, 7 people in here if you count my wife hiding in the corner over there.
We're setting records.
That's right. So Andrew, this is our 100th episode.
Woo woo!
Can you believe it?
I am really excited. It seemed like it came up a lot faster than I expected.
Yeah, same. I didn't think we were going to get to 100 episodes. There's just a lot of like scheduling and logistics, like especially with us not living close together. So for us to actually have been able to put out 2 episodes a week at minimum for however many weeks it's been,
50.
I'm happy with that.
You guys are making the magic.
Plus bonus episodes.
Love you guys.
But yeah, this has been like a really awesome labor of love. We worked really hard to get this far. I'm super excited that we made it this far. And these people in the room are people that have shared it with us and supported us and been on the show before. David's episode hasn't come out yet. So we might have to do another introduction for David's episode at some point.
Teaser, David teaser.
But David has recorded an episode with us already.
Yeah.
But this is so awesome. I appreciate all of you guys for being here and for all the times you've been here before today.
So we brought you guys all on so we can trash all of your opinions. Andrew, why don't you go ahead and tell us how this episode is going to work?
So we're calling this episode Hot Takes. And what we're going to do, we all brought our most controversial opinions to the table to just have this boiling pot of rage and and arguments for the concept of the episode today. We're basically going to go one at a time. You give your controversial opinion, and then you get to try and defend it while everyone screams at you. If you can't get a single person to agree with your take, whether it's off rip or whether it's through arguing, then you have to take a punishment in the form of eating one of these super spicy wings. We do owe some inspiration to Hot Ones, which is a really popular channel, so I don't want to go without mentioning that. Definitely inspiration for this concept, but we're not exactly doing an interview here. We are instead going to all be everything short of fist fighting over our movie and TV opinions.
So right now in the hot seat, we have Zach and Corey. Who wants to go first?
Well, before they give their opinion, I want to ask to each of you in the room, who do you think is going to have the worst opinions today?
Definitely Corey.
Corey.
Definitely
Bruh.
Corey.
Bruh.
David, Justin,
Justin said himself.
Brooks pointing at Corey.
Most definitely Justin.
All right, so far Corey has the most votes. So Corey, you have to eat a wing.
He was so ready to do it.
I'm ready.
He likes spicy.
He's literally
I
going to
don't
just
like
take 2 of them.
I'm ready.
All right, Corey, Zach, hit us.
Who wants to go
What do you
first?
got?
I'll go first, I guess.
All right.
So
I got some heat.
my first hot take is a little bit of a dig at you guys, but Across the Spider-Verse is not that good.
Oh my gosh,
God,
that's starting out hot. What in the world?
It's an absolute load of horseshit, by the way.
The first one is so much better.
It's in.
But that just because the first one's better doesn't mean that the second one just isn't good.
I said not that good. There's a little bit of good in there.
a little bit of good in there. You need to rephrase it.
Just grab the wing. Nobody in this
Is it-
room is agreeing with
I
that.
mean,
seen it. I haven't seen it either.
oh, then you have
is
no
so-
help
My
there.
backup's
That is-
gone.
I feel like we have to go off if we've seen it then.
No, I feel like if Zach has to take a bite, then they should too for having not
That is
seen it.
so much worse.
It's like, no.
We didn't really read all the rules here.
But
That fine print, you guys didn't.
that movie is literally top 3 on IMDb ratings.
I hear you.
The
but it's
animation
all
is
hype.
groundbreaking. It's not all hype.
Yes.
It's not all hype. It's
See,
so
the
well
story-
made.
The story of the first one is way better. The first one should be higher on IMDb than the second one.
Those animators work themselves to the bone. You're out here disrespecting
Slandering.
them.
I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm just saying it's not as good as the first one. The
Dude,
first one's better.
I think that I agree with you on the fact that the story is better in the first one. I feel like you're really angling this opinion in a way where like I can almost stop you from the punishment. But like the animation is so fantastic. Like to just say
It looks beautiful, but that doesn't mean that it's better than the first one.
I
Yeah,
don't
but that's not what you said. You said that it's not
that good. You said it's not
a
that
compelling
good.
argument whatsoever right now. It's like this is just a bad
Compared to
take.
the first one, it's not that good, in my opinion.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I mean, I'd say the first one is better, but I would say like I wouldn't say compared to it, it's not that good. The voice acting is so phenomenal. You got Miguel O'Hara, you've got the Spot, and you've got 240 spider characters. It's like the most ambitious project
But-
in animation history. They
but-
broke the record
Animation
for longest animated movie ever made in America.
And I get it. And I saw all the marketing and stuff. But they're like, oh, all these spider people.
Did you
and
watch
then,
the movie too?
Yeah, I did. But all the spider people, there's like really only like 10 to 15 of them. You have all these little like, oh, for one frame, there's this somewhat noteworthy Spider-Man. There's so many that. Oh, sorry.
And didn't you go see Transformers: Rise of the Beast? Don't plug your ears like you deserve to have this not spoiled for you.
All I'm saying is they definitely rolled hard on this is going to be so many Spider-Men or Spider people, and then there was like under-delivered.
But they showed us 200 spider people while also doing justice to the characters that were in
But
it.
they already showed that.
Include Spider Pig from The Simpsons. If it did not, it's trash.
Spider
did
Pig
not.
is in the first movie. Spider Pig is at the very tail end of this movie.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
Guys, please decimate this man in the comments. Please absolutely annihilate him.
Spider-Man
I don't-
across Into the Spider-Verse is the better one.
If he's saying that, then he's safe.
Yeah, but that's not what.
That's not what he started. He
That's
just
not
doesn't
what
want to
he
touch
said.
that wing. He just doesn't want to touch that wing.
Does this constitute a wing?
All who says Zach eat a wing say aye.
Brooke, does Zach have to eat a wing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a bite.
Oh,
Dang it, bro.
Take your pick.
You said what you said.
The judge.
You said what you said.
Man, we're gonna be screwed.
Brooke fell asleep at the movies.
Are you kidding?
Maybe.
Brooke's gonna get on the mic. Tap Corey out.
Bring it in.
Dang it. I really didn't want to eat the first one. I hate spicy.
These probably look so bad on
You
camera.
gotta take a bite of that
Darn it,
meat.
you
gotta pick it up.
It's fucking
No,
spicy.
you,
I
you don't,
promise.
you don't.
I
You don't. You don't
promise.
have to take a bite of the whole thing. You just a
Am I
bite.
good?
I think you're fine.
He
Just hold
peeled
it.
open the center.
Oh, he took it. He took an
just the meat.
He took an extra bite. Just keep that one in front of you. Keep that one in front of
Oh, I
you.
see. This is my wing now.
That's your shame right there. That's your shame.
I'm excited to hear what Corey's take is.
All right.
Sorry for the F-bomb.
I would just like you guys to know that I have a lot of these that I think is not necessarily hot takes, but I'm gonna start off with go with a little bunt here.
Hit us with the hard one first. We're
Hit with the hard one
we need,
first?
Oh, you want the viewers to leave?
All right, I'm gonna start it off with Thor had absolutely no reason to kill Thanos, and the fact that the Avengers let him do that was lame. There was
Lame?
It was lame. There was no reason for it.
What do you mean he had
In
no
an
reason?
Endgame?
It ain't
Yeah, in the
there-
beginning of
You mean other than like when he just like destroyed half of the universe?
Other than killing his brother right in front of him?
no reason.
Okay, well, Corey's eating away.
Hold up. First of all, how lame was it that you decapitated a man who could not defend himself at that point?
He quit like emotionally. Like
He was done.
I mean, he was toasted from destroying the stones,
He
but he
was
could have
done.
fought.
He
That's
had
like-
one arm. He
that's
was
like-
chilling. Honestly, Thanos really wins extra because Thor went too far. It was too much, bro. It was too much. Like, why? There was
I don't know if
I think Thanos had to die.
and
for what he came. There was literally another Thanos like 30 minutes later.
Corey, I have a question. Thanos comes to Earth.
Yes.
Thanos snaps the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yes.
Carissa and Miles evaporate.
Yes.
You're like, it's cool, Thanos. Just go farm. It's fine.
See, Corey's gonna sit there and he's just gonna be like, "Well, what's done is done. Revenge will not change the past."
It's fate.
And then he
it's
just
fate,
walks into the
be it.
sunset.
It'd be.
Listen. Me personally, I'm not letting that first snap go through. I'm not letting that first
Yeah.
snap go through.
Yeah.
I'm not letting him do me like that in the first place.
The God of Thunder is weaker than Corey.
I'm not letting that first snap go through. So really,
Just pick one, dude.
bro,
Just pick one
All
out.
on the premise that you're stronger than
Yeah, dude, you're crazy for this one.
so you're gonna sit here and look me in the face and say that was justified. There was a
Yes.
whole lot of
Yes.
reason.
He was so it was so
Bon
it
appetit.
was so justified. Who is more justified? Like he committed mass genocide, Corey.
Not even just on Earth, but the universe.
Bro,
That's a whole lot of life sentences.
And before that, all the people he killed.
Thor was acting like an angry toddler when he decapitated him, bro. He should have done that before.
He tried. He just didn't go for the head.
He learned his lesson.
He was late.
Also, yes, good point. Thanos baited him to do it. He said Thanos told him you should have gone for the head. He asked for it.
Eat up.
What was that?
Eat
The
up.
audio cut out there.
Eat
Not
up.
after the fact.
Eat up. Eat up. You lose. Eat up.
Bro.
Yum 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 yum.
Ooh, putting extra
Oh, he's
on.
great.
He knows. Ooh.
He's tough.
All
This
right.
stuff is I like.
This is him saying he's stronger than Thor. All right. This is,
I taste tested the tiniest
I
bit of
wouldn't
this
have
like
missed the first axe throw. I'm just saying.
this. So
He didn't miss.
this ghost pepper sauce, like I touched my finger in it and licked it, and it was like burning.
Yeah,
So
it is hot.
I'm weak though.
I hate spicy food. This sucks. I wanted to do pies.
Corey doesn't even have a water.
All right. A napkin, please, my friend.
This is how calm he's asking for the napkin. Is how he's acting like he would handle Thanos killing his whole family.
You see the way I just ate that ghost pepper sauce? Same way I'm taking Thanos out, bro. I'm telling you.
I think I'm safe from eating.
David rolling your eyes in the back.
I think
you
I'm.
want to hop on the mic here?
Ain't no way.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, tag him in, Corey.
Get out of here, Corey. Oh, come on, man. Don't hit the camera. That's
Sorry.
what we're doing here.
I think you got us centered back up.
All right, we're
There's
switching.
a hole in there.
David's coming on the show.
That was rigged.
This room is so small.
This room is pretty
There's so many of us in here. All right, now, David, for the first time in chronological order
Whoa.
on camera, chronology, the first time in chronology,
It had a stroke.
the first time in Chronos.
Chrono Bowl.
I love the Chrono Bowl. So, David, welcome to the show for
Thank
the
you.
quote unquote first time.
Yes.
David's a longtime fan of the show. Watched the.
The number one fan.
Ooh, Justin, did you hear that?
Ooh.
Say it again.
How many episodes you watched?
Ooh. Have you seen every single episode?
Nope.
Me neither.
I'm the number one fan. I've seen every episode.
I think I might be second.
5 months ago or so?
Yeah.
Something like that?
But how many, Justin? How many episodes do you think you've seen? Here, come on the mic, Zach.
Yeah.
Let's switch a room
Is
here.
this the next hot take?
Yeah,
Who's the biggest
I was the biggest fan of
of the show?
You said it, man.
Should not have answered that.
Don't touch my pile.
Justin, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. You've been on the show a number of times, so if the fans don't know who you are, they need to go back and watch your other
The
episodes.
original king of the hot take.
Yeah, probably what sparked your guys' idea for this.
Yes. All right, Justin, how many episodes do you think you've seen of backseat directing?
Probably 15 to 17.
Okay. Okay.
I will
They
say,
are rookie numbers, but keep in mind,
He just started.
I just started.
do you follow the TikTok?
Yes.
Do you watch all the TikToks? Do you watch all the YouTube clips? The shorts?
You watch him on both?
Hell yeah!
Yeah, YouTube Shorts, IG Reels, and TikToks.
Sorry, you guys want the views. Like,
I do.
Stop watching it, Andrew.
thank you.
Jesus.
All right, Andrew, I don't know about you, but I think it's a tie.
Okay.
All right, we'll call it even.
Man is a tie.
No one's eating a wing.
Zach's in the back seat.
Who's gonna need a wing on that one?
Sweating a little bit.
It's hot. Anytime here.
All right.
Well, I also think that Corey's hot take was so stupid. That was the most
bad,
like
right?
that was terrible.
It was a good take.
So you're saying
He's got more. He's
you agreed with me.
Yes,
so everyone
Eat away.
but I've never seen it before, so I couldn't really agree with you.
Yeah.
everyone who's eaten a wing, or everyone who's gone up has taken a bite of a wing so far. So let's see if you can break the trend. And
I'm just not going to talk.
what? David, you're up first. What's your?
Yeah, so one of my hot takes that have actually will be brought up into a future episode that I was honestly on, and this one honestly made Andrew like cringe and almost started biting his nails off. So my hot take was that Leonardo DiCaprio is a lesser than actor than Nicolas Cage.
Right? Ridiculous.
110%. How many Leonardo DiCaprio like movies have you
I
seen?
feel like Corey could be getting up to agree with him right now.
versus
That's what scares
Nicolas
me.
Cage. Versus Nicolas Cage. How many?
Definitely more of Leo.
Nicholas. What?
That
Was-
I like movies that I've seen.
No. Yeah. Well, no. Just seen. Period.
I mean, just the
definitely more
sole
Leos.
fact of
Really?
Inception.
Quality, but what you're talking about is quality and quantity.
No, I'm saying Nicolas Cage has better movies than Leo.
Ghost Rider? What?
Ghost Rider is great. It is a great movie. Both Ghost Riders.
Okay, here's the name a Nick Cage movie, and I'll try and name a Leo movie to combat it. Which I feel like, to be fair, Leo's movies are worth like 5. And I love National Treasure, but like that's one movie. I mean, it's 2.
Yeah.
That's two movies. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Book of Treasure. Book of
And
Treasure.
Ghost Rider.
David just.
Corey, Zach, you had your turn. Let's let David talk. Let's keep it quiet in the audience.
I'm just saying Leo is a lesser than actor than Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage. Why?
Stop saying it.
That is my opinion. Honestly, I will say I'm not saying he's not a bad actor.
What is
I'm not
he? What
saying
is
he's
he?
a bad
What is?
actor.
What is? What performance does Nick? And I'll use like a lesser
think he
Leo.
has
role.
more- I think he has
What is-
more of a
Hold on,
range.
hold on. What performance, singular performance in a movie of Nick Cage matches up to like The Wolf of Wall Street?
Just recently, Renfield. I will say, Leo, yes, he did. He fucking killed that movie. He really did. He embodied the Dracula.
Then why didn't
character.
anybody buy tickets
I
to
will also
it?
see. Who cares? It still doesn't matter. It's still a good movie.
Fucking yeah. For
It's
the
still way better.
you and
like,
the other
as
9
an
people that
actor.
saw it can have like a convention about it,
Wow.
but
Nicolas Cage, if you're viewing this, I'm sorry that these guys are all haters.
I have.
Definitely is.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you guys
he's a
are big
longtime
haters
fan.
on
This is his
Nicholas,
guilty pleasure.
and I think you guys are just so like fanboys for Leo.
No, I am. Aaron's not
100%.
really,
I'm
but
not a big fanboy for Leo, but I don't think Nicolas Cage is better.
I feel-
in
that-
better
First of all,
movies
Nicolas
than
Cage
Leo.
also had an Oscar before Leo.
yeah, but Leo deserved an Oscar. We all, as a society, agree deserved way before he got one. The episode that you guys will watch next week, you will
I did say
that he should have got one in
deserved-
2012.
He deserved to get an Oscar for what's that movie?
Django Unchained.
which is a phenomenal movie. That movie should have just won.
His performance in Django, his performance in Inception, his performance in Wolf of Wall Street, his
Revenant.
performance in what's the one with Tom
I also
Hanks?
think Leo also
Revenant.
plays the same character.
What's
in
the
every
one with Tom
single movie.
Hanks?
He kind of does play the same.
Leo plays the same character in every single movie.
What do you mean he kind of plays the same character? in
He
every movie?
is. He's the same
very,
character.
Very similar. It's very, very similar.
He is. Show me a different character that he isn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like what? Like where's his range?
He plays Frank,
He plays a slave owner.
and then yeah.
Billionaire.
So
And-
he plays an asshole, and then he also in Wolf of Wall Street he plays an asshole.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But they're such very like look at like
Good point.
look at his
That was good.
his performance in Blood Diamond is a completely different performance than
I'm
Calvin
saying
Candy.
Nicolas Cage. Well, I've also never seen that movie, so I can't say it. I've actually seen more Nicolas Cage
But it
movies.
probably sucks.
But I will say, I didn't say it sucks. But I'm saying Nicolas Cage has better range and is probably a better actor than most.
Playing different roles does not equal better range. Playing them well equals better range. He does
And Nicolas
like
Cage
he's
plays
he,
well.
He always sounds like Nick Cage. Drive Angry, Gone in 60 Seconds, but all of them. He
And
has
Leo
the same.
doesn't?
Dude, Leo's voice. Just
tough.
listen to his voice
Thank
alone.
you.
Like
I think
Thank you.
I think Leo does do a good job of kind of getting within each character individually, but they're, like you said, I think a lot of them are similar types of characters. Doesn't mean he's necessarily
Just
playing them. the
my
exact
thing
same.
also is because Leo also gets into a lot of like big director movies, and so that also plays into the hype. Nicolas Cage doesn't. Nicolas Cage just loves acting and just does a movie that he like wants to do.
because the big directors don't want an actor who can't take seriously.
That is so
Martin Scorsese
rude.
is now here doing movies with.
That is so rude. Did you hear that?
It's not because
so
I
rude.
promise you, Nick Cage is not
Nicolas
getting.
Cage is crying.
I promise
right
you,
now.
Nick Cage is not getting cast in.
wiping his tears away.
I promise you, Nick Cage is not in Martin Scorsese movies, not because he doesn't want to be, but because Martin Scorsese doesn't want him to be. I promise
Okay.
you.
Rage building a
Oh,
Mad, bro.
so
It's killing me that I can't think of the name of like a movie that I really love
Justin,
right now.
what do you think?
Catch Me If You Can. That is Catch Me If You Can. How different is that from all his other roles?
how?
And you put me on to Catch Me If You Can.
How? Okay.
He's playing a teenage con artist. Like he's charismatic. He's likable. He's wins everybody over. He's
Isn't that the same as Titanic?
Thank you.
That's if you find two. I mean, first of all, if you actually watch the movies in their entirety, they seem like different people. Every one of his roles, he seems like one individual person in each of those roles. Look at Gangs of New York. How different is Gangs of New York from all these other movies I've already said?
Well, like the theme, but like not him
the
as an
character.
actor.
He's playing a poor, like Irish
and
immigrant, and then he's playing a rich asshole in Wolf of Wall Street.
You can say that about Nicolas Cage. He's Dracula. He's also Ghost Rider. He's
But like I
also a
said,
bunch
he's
of other
not
roles.
doing a good job. He's just playing those. When you play 150 roles, you're gonna play. Aaron agrees with him. How's he gonna eat?
I did not agree that.
You did fist bump me, and it's on camera.
Yeah, but that was about.
That is an agreement. That's like a
playing the same
handshake.
roles. That was about Leo playing the same roles. Not that Leo isn't as good as Nick Cage.
Okay, so
I
that
don't
was
agree
that
with
was your
that.
original point, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Nick is better than Leo as far
100%.
as range.
More skilled actor.
I also yes.
I think you're on your own.
No. It's because
Well,
I
in
will
the
say
room, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
this
I
room.
think it may just because Nicolas Cage is older. I will say that like Leo is a little more prettier to look at, and that's what a lot of people actually think they're better than. But as far as like, would you say Meryl Streep is a bad actor because she's like uglier? Well, I take that back. Never mind. I want to say that.
You said Meryl Streep is uglier.
I mean, I'm
He's ready.
to me, but no. But I do love Meryl Streep. I'm not saying
Everyone loves
I love
Meryl
you.
Streep.
I know that's a joke. So with Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage did play Superman.
I like Nicolas Cage. I do like Nicolas Cage.
He still plays Superman. So if you don't like Nicolas Cage as Superman, you don't like
Listen,
Superman.
Face Off is a great.
Point blank period.
Look, I can't even. Okay, Nicolas Cage is.
We need to move on from this
Nick-
topic.
because I
And
won.
go
Let
to
me
our-
in my
next topics.
closing argument for this. Let me say Nick Cage is a lot of fun, and I do love Nick Cage, but he's in the same category as like Vin Diesel, Dwayne Johnson. These are not
is
Leonardo
so
DiCaprio
rude.
performances.
That is so rude. You're comparing Nick
say I would-
Cage to
yeah.
Rock and Vin Diesel.
He's like, I'm like the Rock. Flexing.
He's looking in the mirror. He seems like a nice guy, a good guy in real life.
Back, we
That
can't
is a-
hear you when you're not on the mic, so we got to switch. Okay, just tap in, come in. Yeah, there we go.
I've never agreed with Andrew in anything in my life, and I agree with Andrew on this. So that's as far.
Thank
as
you,
I'm saying.
Corey.
Alright.
Thank you.
David, I'm sorry to say, but I think you need to eat a wing.
Let me just say this. I think you all are wrong. Leo, I'm not saying Leo's a bad actor. I just think Nicolas Cage is a better.
But I don't think it's close, bro.
That's okay.
Justin,
It's also
Are we gonna
okay
hear
if you
from
have
you
a
guys
crush
first?
on him. It's fine.
Justin, let's hear what you got.
Oh boy, I was really hoping you guys would.
No, we didn't forget about you. What you got?
I'll go next.
Okay, so this one, I don't really know what the room thinks about it. I know what Andrew thinks about it. That Joker is one of the best movies ever made.
Mad overhyped. So overhyped.
Does anyone immediately agree with me?
He's like, please
Wait.
protect me.
Can you say that one more time?
The Joker, what, 2019? The Joker from
2019.
Todd Phillips.
Oh, sorry, he's dying over here.
He's claiming the Joker is one of the best movies ever made. It's a well-made
Best ever
movie.
made?
Keep up, like best movies ever made. There's
You got
millions
tap-
of movies.
tap,
I'm
tap
saying
David out.
like
Okay.
best movie, not like top
Watch
five.
the camera.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking about like top 30, like
No.
top 30.
I don't think it's top 100.
Top
Well, I know you don't,
movies
but like potential to be top 30 movies ever
out
made.
of all movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Every movie.
yeah. I mean, like just
He's
just the cinematic beauty of it.
Upped his, like at first I thought it was like
Comic book movies.
The Joker is like a really good Joker movie, but now you're saying that it's
Well, I got to add an extra
Top
thing to piss you
30.
guys off. So
oh my gosh, top 30 movies.
It's not even a good
Potential, yeah.
Joker movie.
See, I disagree with that. I
no,
think
see,
it's a good Joker.
that was the main point where I brought it, but then I added this so I could get them to argue.
Spice it up.
yeah,
Corey, you tapped in. What did you have to say? Get close to the mic.
What are we considering greatest of all time? Like, is top 50 greatest of all time? Is top 50?
He said top 30 is what he
Top
just said.
30?
Yeah, like potential top 30 for all time.
I think 30's pushing it, but if you push that 30 down to 50, you got me over on the room. Is all I'm saying. It's a good movie.
Look at the class of people you're with. Look at the opinions that you stand next to. You see where you put
Wait,
yourself?
I still don't have. I don't hear Zach yet or David.
It's not top 50.
This is you're barking up the wrong
David
tree.
also
All right,
disagrees.
so Aaron's the only closest one I have on my side.
No, you have Corey.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I just looked at the IMDb top 100 list with Andrew like 3 days ago. You could totally replace like Intouchables at 37 with Joker,
Joker.
somewhere up there.
Okay, so he kind of agrees with me.
It's
The
a
movie-
good movie.
Listen. I know you don't think the Joker at all in that movie is like the Joker.
Doesn't
but-
represent the Joker
it's-
that I've seen.
but it kind of does. Like, it. I heard one point that I know from. I think you said this was the fact that Joker shouldn't have a backstory. He doesn't. Like, he doesn't have a backstory in that movie. So there's no real argument there.
That's space. That's what the movie is, though.
No, when you really delve into it, like, there's a lot of trickery in that movie itself.
But they still gave him a name and everything. Like, he's
Yeah,
Arthur
but-
Fleck.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to know the Joker's name. When we talked about before, I think I said the Arkham games have like the character cards, and everything for the Joker's a question mark. It's like eye color green, hair color green, and then it's like question mark, birthplace, date of birth. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know. This guy's a mystery. It's the same way in the Scott Snyder comic books. I like that because it's like this person might be the Joker, but it might be this person, might be this person. I don't know who was the Red Hood before this happened. That he should be a mystery. He should be an enigma, like Riddler reference. But he isn't in that movie. Like, although he's an unreliable narrator, we're getting so many details about him, and then they screw up Thomas Wayne. That's not the way I want my Thomas Wayne to be at all. And I mean, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, great actor. Todd Phillips, great director. The movie's well directed. It's well made. But the story to me, even bare bones, is not entertaining. Like, I did not enjoy watching this man slowly unravel into madness and kill 4 people. Like, that's not
I
the.
feel
That's
like if it was any other character in this movie and it wasn't like the Joker, Andrew would love this movie.
Yeah.
maybe I would think it's less
Because I
boring.
feel
I definitely
And
don't
I
think
get-
it's it's not like a bad movie, you know, but I just wouldn't say it's top 50. It definitely does aim though to give the Joker a backstory. Definitely.
And it definitely
I mean,
aims to
like-
stand on the back of the Joker's like creds to like get views.
It does, but the fact that it does
mean, it
that and it
works.
did it well for me, that in 2019, getting a good villain story, that's unheard of.
It is probably the best villain titled movie.
And it's,
Clearly, you haven't
and
seen Black Adam.
It's oh
Clearly, you haven't
gosh.
seen Morbius.
Oh, oh, oh.
They're both better than the Joker.
No, they're not.
Okay,
They're,
thank God.
I was gonna say you're about to eat a wing.
Is that your next hot take? Okay, so I don't have to eat a wing.
Well, you said top 30. I don't think anyone agreed with you.
I mean, they just kind of moved it to top 50, so you know.
Aaron's being real strict. Aaron's gonna make every single person eat a wig.
Justin's got me on his side.
All right, there we go.
Sweet.
Justin got me on his side.
Thank you.
Saved. All right. My first hot take. I don't know how controversial this is. We're about to find out at the table, but I'm gonna say animation is better than live action.
Wrong. That was wrong.
Disagree.
That
Wrong.
one's hard.
Yes.
That one's
off
hard.
rip. I have. Oh, but it's Corey.
You accompany yourself.
Somebody say,
See how
Corey,
low you
tap one of them out and get in here.
Bro,
So animation is better than live action because it's literally so much more room for creativity,
do
but
anything.
but also it gives you the freedom to do absolutely anything. Think like Spider-Verse, the ambitious nature of Across the Spider-Verse could have never happened the same quality or the same way in live action. In animation, you can literally make anything happen. David, you turn me on to the comic Saga. Would you want that to be a live action show? Because I obviously would want that to be animated. Right?
live action show.
What? But they could actually make it like the comic if they animated it.
Here, he said that he wants to see it in live action.
So why do you guys think live action's better? Because it's so limited?
I think live action because it's so limited. I think live action is better because, like, I don't know. I feel like, not saying animation's bad. Animation's great, but I feel like live action you really can like buy into the world better. Like you're watching a cartoon really, whereas like you could.
Didn't realize I was the
watching-
only one that grew up with an imagination. Sorry, damn.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I love animation too, but I think live action's better.
Listen, I'm not saying animation is not good at all. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just disagreeing with your point that live action is better, or actually that live action is better because the sole fact of the connection I have to seeing an actual human on screen. I can get connected to voice actors, but it takes a lot more work for me to do that. Especially since I'm an adult. When I was a kid, I was connected to, kid stories. But nowadays, if I see a great actor or just a great story script delivered on screen to me, live action, I'm going to buy that 9 times out of 10 over an animation.
Just want to let the audience know this is coming from somebody who saw Rise of the Beast over seeing Across the Spider-Verse. So just temper
Podcast reasons.
Andrew,
That podcast did better than most of ours. So.
it's really making me mad that I'm agreeing with Andrew, but I love you.
Me and Corey sound like we hate each other.
So, Andrew's an avid anime lover. Anytime they take your
Yes.
favorite anime,
Yes.
your favorite anime, I'm talking your Death Notes, and they give it a
God.
Netflix live adaptation.
Attack on Titan.
The Attack on Titan. You watch it, but after you watch it, you take a really long shower and you forget that it happened, and you just kind of just scrub it away.
Dude, and we saw Jujutsu Kaisen, the movie, which is an animated movie in
was-
theaters,
it was
and it
so
was amazing. Because you could take something that's so peak, like Attack on Titan, and transfer it to live action, it does not work. Like,
doesn't.
some of the peak stories, like the best stories in fiction that look so good on screen. Plus, animators can do a million different styles. Live action, yes, there's different styles, different camera tricks, but you can do all that in animation too. There's one basic visual style. Put filters on it, whatever. It's just real life. It's just people. Animation, there's 500 different ways that they did one episode of Bob's Burgers in like 30 different animation
I
styles.
think you're kind of undermining like how much goes into actually making a live action movie.
But you do the same thing in you do
I'm
this,
just saying like
My
what do you do?
feelings
Pop a
are
filter
hurt.
on it. Like
You-
that's pretty extreme.
but you do the same thing in animation, but more.
no,
I
like,
know.
it's
I
just a
mean-
bunch of drawings. Like how hard is that?
Some of
Yeah.
our greatest
Yeah.
childhood
No.
memories. Some of our greatest childhood memories have been ruined by live action. Dragon Ball Evolution, horrible. It literally might be the worst movie of all time.
But see, you're saying that in the fact that these were first animation.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And
Like,
being adapted to live action. So the first way that you saw it was animation. So you're going to be more attached to that version. And they did stuff in the animation, like you're saying, that you can't really do in live action.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that it's better than the whole medium of live action movies.
I think it's a good representation of what he's saying of like of things that are in both forms. Like what's your example of things that are in both forms where the live action is so much better?
okay, so I guess this is a super broad point, but take everything animated. Take everything ever made live action.
I'd pick the animated stuff.
You'd only pick animated stuff.
If I could only
like-
ever watch
like-
one ever
like-
again, I'd pick animated.
Animated.
Okay, no, like not like anything that was made live action, like MCU. Would you rather have what we got, or would you rather everything have been made animated style?
I personally would usually rather watch DCAU movies over MCU live action movies for a lot of them. Zach's
hard,
nodding his
'cause
head in the background because
it's-
Death of Superman, Flashpoint Paradox, Batman Under the Red Hood are better than the majority of the MCU's collection.
Yes,
But then you wouldn't be able to watch any of Leo's movies.
That's
True.
what. That's
but
my
that's a
point.
sacrifice I'd have to make.
That's what I'm saying. So get rid of
that
everything
means-
live action
that means
just to
Nicolas
save your
Cage was
point.
Superman.
So you're like
They could do it better
validating the
animated, I
art
guess.
and stuff more than the art of like acting.
No, I don't think we're seeing it that way. I think that the way I'm interpreting it, at least, is you can do so much more in the medium of animation and things like think of a character moving at something like light speed. It is so hard and annoying to do that in a live action setting.
But it looks so good in the Flash.
There you go.
Obvious sarcasm
I
button.
know, but that deserves. But you went too far. There's a line.
You can't even say that sarcastically.
But then you watch these Dragon Ball, Naruto lightspeed fights where it's just really characters just moving so fast in the blink of an eye. It's just really like, it looks like scratch marks and you're going, wow, this is actually entertaining. And some of the fight scenes, like if you watch an anime like Naruto, some of the fight scenes in there are just, you could never choreograph something that articulate and just pretty. It's never going to happen.
And then the voice acting performances. Like, I was watching Vinland Saga before I came over here. I was about damn ready to cry watching the season 2 of Vinland Saga. Like, I recently went to theaters and watched Elemental. No lie. I cried 3 times watching this one Pixar movie. Like,
Are you okay?
Do you need the hug?
It's the father-daughter dynamic. It does it to me. But like, voice acting performances are a thing too. You have to acknowledge, and I respect live action performances. I'm not saying live action movies are dog shit. I'm saying that animation to me is better.
Yeah, it's just
I disagree.
I see it. I don't agree because, like I've already said, I mean, animation. There's voice acting, and yes, there's creating the visuals. That's like kind of rounding it into 2 things in the story. But just on the acting alone for live action, there's the voice part of the acting, there's the physical part of the acting, and there's the delivery of the acting. That's just three
And
of
the
just the
stunts
acting.
that go into
The stunts,
acting as well.
the preparation, the editing. Like, I mean,
The-
yeah, there's everything like that for animation, but it's just, I feel like it's a whole nother echelon of like a category in itself. Like, it's crazy.
Just because something's harder to do, I don't think that necessarily means you get more brownie points for doing it well.
I agree.
Well, I don't necessarily think live action is particularly harder than animation. I think they're both hard in different ways. You know, like to draw a single frame, like 24 frames for 1 second, like that's hard. But to make a movie and film it and stuff and act and perform, like that's also hard. So I don't think anyone's saying like one's harder than the other.
I don't think the degree of difficulty into doing it necessarily is a direct correlation to which is better at all.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew dodged a wing because Corey agrees with
Yeah.
Let me get some.
Corey agrees. All right, my hot take. I don't know if anyone will agree or not, but everyone knows my opinion on this, and that is Thor Ragnarok is a bottom 3 MCU movie.
Oh, yeesh. That is a wrong opinion. No, don't you. Corey's the savior of the hot takes episode.
three.
What the hell?
This is more than a.
Oh, so it goes for you. It goes Thor Ragnarok, Captain Marvel,
Brooke agrees as
Black
well.
Widow.
Out of the ones I've seen, I haven't seen like 5 of them,
Like-
but I did have Ragnarok at the very bottom at one point, and I still I haven't seen it again. I haven't seen it a second time yet. So as of right now, I'm agreeing with him.
David, get up here.
I've never enjoyed a Thor movie. I'm sorry.
But Ragnarok is the best Thor movie.
That's the
No,
best one. Yes, it
no,
is.
get out of here.
What's the best one? Love and Thunder. Thor: The Dark World.
Can we just agree they're all bad?
No.
I'd be closer to that.
They're all bad.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah, but even if they're all bad, there has to be a best one. So what's the best one?
You're putting the Eternals.
Probably the first one.
What is your first like terrible
The
Marvel
Eternals?
movie?
Where did that come from?
That's what I'm comparing it to.
What do you
Eternals
consider
way better.
What do you consider a bad? What do you consider a?
Yeah, we'll talk about the Eternals later, but yeah, that one's way better.
More than Thor Ragnarok?
Yes. Thor, all the Thor
I'm
movies
tapping out on that one too.
were bad.
Breaking the studios.
I'm like, what is
bad.
this?
Thor Ragnarok, yes, I think that Taika Waititi's sense of humor being blended into Thor was not necessarily the most like thematically fluent thing in the MCU, but that movie was funny. The action was really good. Thor still had a lot of times of being badass. I think
Thor: Love and Thunder was not a good movie. You can't keep defending it.
the best of Thor might have been in Avengers 2. It might
He was.
He just said Ragnarok. Who said Love and Thunder?
Were you just talking about Love and Thunder?
talking about Ragnarok.
Oh, you said Love and Thunder.
Me?
Yeah.
I thought so.
You just said Love and
Shit.
Thunder.
Well, I meant Thor Ragnarok the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Thor Ragnarok, I think, is like a
Just as
top,
bad as Thor: Love and
at
Thunder.
least
you were
a-
getting them confused.
at least a top 12 MCU movie. Thor Ragnarok.
No, guys, no.
Isn't there like 30 now or something?
Even just
lot.
the opening part with Surtur is like really good, and then he grabs like Loki in his father's form and throws the hammer. That part's awesome too. He's like, nothing will stop Mjolnir as he returns to my hand. Like, such a badass threat. We get so much transformation for Thor. He loses an eye. He fights his own sister. Like, he loses all of Asgard. It's such a transformative movie for the character. There's so much loss. It's like, it's an epic movie. I mean, it has flaws. I don't think it's top 5. I don't think it's perfect, but it's far from bottom 3. Thor is kind of what the MCU has come to be about, like that tone.
Can I ask
Thor
what are the
Ragnarok.
reasons why you don't like the movie?
It's overly funny. His personality is like.
He thinks it's too funny.
like,
much of a-
Ant-Man.
Like too much
All
comedy.
of
overly
Iron
comedic.
Man.
The comedy landed at all for Ragnarok, and his like personality was like a complete 180. Like it's strange character building on the first 2 movies. And what we
That's
got in,
because
like,
they had
Age of
different
Ultron.
directors.
I consider it the Americanization of Thor. Like Thor spent, I know it's a small span of time in his life, whatever, but he spent a lot of
years old.
But the
comes
time,
to America
but his time,
for a few years.
But his
and
time-
now he's like
it's-
just like an American.
It's
Like,
insane.
That's
It's an-
bad writing.
It's an
That's bad writing.
It's an impactful time in his life, though. Even though it's a short amount of time, it's densely packed with life or death events, powerful relationships.
So I go from arrogant God
Yeah.
to David Bowie.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
There's still Thor in there. Like the
movement.
Thor 1 Thor is still in there.
It's like a rushing nesting doll, like really, really, really in there. just
The action is some of the best action in the MCU. Hulk versus Thor again. I mean, Hulk versus Hela. You get to see all them battling on the Rainbow Bridge, fighting an army of undead. Like the fight with Surtur in the beginning. There's so much good action. And the comedy, like Korg is pretty funny. I mean,
That's the only good part about that movie.
I think that's kind of.
I strongly disagree, but
Listen, before I don't think you.
Yeah, come on, get on the mic.
Oh shoot! I shouldn't have said anything. Like I said, I have only seen it once, but before watching yes,
Yeah, that's how bad it is, David.
I
You're
don't
not
watch
on the mic
movies
right now.
there's a lot of MCU movies I've only seen once because I don't want to watch them again.
Let the man speak.
But before watching Ragnarok, I loved the character of Thor. He almost was my favorite, right below Cap. After watching it, immediate not top 5 in the MCU, which sucks because I really, really loved this character. Not to say that Thor and
They
Jackson's
changed.
looking so crazy,
They,
at you, bro.
watch the camera. Watch the camera. Watch the camera.
This is what I envisioned for the episode. Get back in there,
They
Zach.
changed so much about
Bro.
Thor in this one movie.
Yeah.
Like right away too.
it was hard for me to
Here,
witness
watch
in
your-
2017.
You're blocking Andrew.
I remember leaving that movie and just being like, this is the downfall of the MCU. But
Oh,
then,
damn.
But then,
That's a whole different hot
but
take.
then Infinity War and
Movies haven't been as
Endgame.
good since.
No, and it should have ended with Endgame, which was going to be my other hot take, but that's just the cold hard truth. Like, it should have ended with Endgame. That's it.
I mean, I could almost
can
agree with
agree
that
with
and say that they could have revamped after Endgame and like restarted.
Yeah.
And started with the Fantastic Four or something, X-Men.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Zach,
yeah,
what's
Ragnarok,
up?
I don't like
you
it.
guys are just blowing my mind that you're saying that Thor was like your second favorite character
Yeah, because
based off Thor 1 and 2.
no, I mean, there's
Also had a
there's Avengers and Avengers.
Blonde eyebrow Thor isn't what. It's blowing my mind. Ragnarok is the best Thor movie.
I mean, so
bad.
blonde eyebrows is would get you
No,
like,
well,
not off.
He's get you not off. But he also like spends like a good 60-70% of that movie just a human in Thor 1. So that's like I can see where you're coming from where like you liked him better in Thor 1 when he had no powers versus how he's a badass in Thor Ragnarok. Eyes glowing with lightning,
I
God
feel-
of Thunder.
I just
I feel
felt
like in
like there
Thor
was
Ragnarok, he's the most Thor he has been.
Dude, the
Other
short
than,
haircut? Ooh.
just about to say that
Infinity
about the
War
original.
Or,
Chris Hemsworth was looking hot in that movie.
He wasn't looking like Thor though.
No, he did not look like
I
Thor,
do
man.
prefer the long hair Thor, but that
Yeah.
haircut.
Bro,
they-
freaking, you guys know who Samson is?
Oh,
like from the
haircut
Bible?
doesn't make the movie like
That's what
eyebrows
happened.
done-
They cut
doesn't.
off his hair. He got weaker, in my opinion. Besides, once he gets back in like Infinity War, he's awesome. But
Look, we can agree that eyebrows and hair make a big difference because we've seen what Henry Cavill having a mustache did to the Justice League.
ruined it. Soiled it.
why do I always
That's
got to bring?
removing of said hair.
So you've got people that agree with you, so you're safe.
Yep.
He's actually got like two
I think-
people, right?
I think we've argued this one. Two
Yeah.
people. Ridiculous.
I know. This is crazy.
It's a fun movie.
This is the
it's
most.
fun.
Surprised. I
This
thought it
is
was
the
gonna be an
most people
island
have agreed
outlet.
so far.
That's the winningest opinion.
Yeah.
It's an entertaining, fun movie with good action.
I'm with it.
David said this is the downfall of backseat directing.
Jeez, man. Number one fan, no more.
We're back. We're back to the start. Then Zach can give another opinion if you have one.
Yeah.
Zach, can you scoot in a little bit more for me?
I'm ending our friendship.
Are we only like 45 minutes in?
Yeah.
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 Man,
I'm ending our friendship after Zach.
Jeez. So my next hot take is that the DCEU was pretty bad, and I'm not like say there's some high points.
he's trying to protect himself from a wing so hard qualifying.
There's
this
some
one.
high points. Trust me, there's some high points like Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck's Batsuit. But overall, no, I like Ben Affleck as Batman a whole lot, but the writing for him was always bad.
Where are we going with this?
That the DCEU was pretty bad.
I don't know.
That's not a hot
I don't think
take.
that's a hot
It's
take.
trash.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
It's so bad.
Maybe to the people in this room, but there's people who've like sold their soul to like save the Snyderverse.
Neanderthals.
I have one to build off that. I have one to build off that. Mine would be that like the Justice League extended cut is really not that much better than the Justice League.
Yeah, and I agree.
Oh, we all agree on that?
It was so bad.
No. Hey, someone switch out with Justin. Justin's getting more.
It's just in the background.
Switch out.
That is the worst take I've ever heard in my life. Are you kidding me?
We found the Neanderthal.
It's just longer, more exhausting, and with like 2 additional better scenes.
Say
of the
anything
Flash.
else.
Like,
Just go watch the episode I was on with you,
Well, it's like
and I explain it.
it can be sure. Maybe it's like technically better.
We're getting back to
maybe
this.
it's like a little edited a little bit better. And some of the suit design, is nicer.
Well, they put more horns on.
Yeah, I really don't.
What's his
think,
face?
I agree with you. Andrew.
Steppenwolf.
I really don't think it's that much
Yeah.
different than the first one.
But people act like it's a godsend. Like
I
it's.
watched them back to back for the first time. Right, I watched.
I can't- I don't know how
That
you
was
did
your that was your problem.
and then watched the second one. It was not. It wasn't that much
It is-
better, if at all.
It is very much the same movie. Like, yes, things are kind of executed differently, and there's some cooler shots for sure in the Snyder cut. But people say it's like, oh, it's such a different movie. It's really, really not that different of a movie. There's just some like tonal things that are
The
different.
base,
I
the
like-
base of it is the same, but it is a completely different level of movie than the original Justice League.
I don't see that. But so to me, the main additions to it are that the Flash scene where he like actually uses power to save somebody from the falling buildings, and then when he runs back in time. But the main thing that the running back in time did was, although it was cool for the movie, I feel like it super undercut him going back in time, which I think should have been for the first time in the Flashpoint Paradox story. Because he was like, he had already done it by then. I know he went further. He qualified it in the movie saying, yeah, that was just for a few minutes, like, or a few seconds, whatever. But it really, I feel like it undercut how special it was for him to go back in time.
Yeah, but that's not a detriment to
The movie, the
the
Justice League movie.
Justice
sure.
League movie. It's just the Flash
I feel like
kind of sucked.
what you just said is true in fact. Like, I feel like the Snyder cut is a different level of movie, like
Yeah.
for sure. You can kind of tell that the Justice League one feels very jumbled together, whereas the Snyder cut feels like one person's full idea.
Well, Zack Snyder is a better director.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
So, but I'm. What am I trying to say here? Yeah. So
think I get what
the
you're trying to
Justice
say.
League one is definitely worse,
Yeah.
but I still don't feel like the Snyder cut is like this fantastic movie that is like they really don't feel like the Justice League to me. And for that movie to be called Justice League, it's like the Avengers movie. Though they feel like the Avengers the whole movie. When they team up, they feel like the Avengers. And the Justice League is still like, even when they're fighting at the end and they're all there, it still feels so fragmented,
The only DCEU movie that was good was Man of Steel.
I like the Suicide Squad.
Wrong. That is
There's
that is
That one's-
wrong.
That one's
I mean,
Original one or the second one?
The second one.
Okay.
Looking back, there are a lot of good parts in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
right, so was that your next hot take? 'Cause,
There's-
Like, I feel like you got to eat a wing because you're wrong.
What do you say?
He said Man of Steel is the only good DCEU movie.
with Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad.
Wonder Woman.
The Suicide Squad.
I
Wonder
think,
Woman
I think
there are some that are good,
the first Shazam is pretty good.
but for as big a DC fan as I am, nothing really lands in the DCU. Like, most things don't land. They don't lean hard enough into the universe. There's barely like any DC characters in it. I don't know. It's just, for me, it was so poorly executed.
Agreed.
All the way from Batman vs Superman, which was unfortunately was the second movie. So Man of
downfall.
Steel was executed great, and then they scrambled to build this universe,
Maybe
and it
that's
just
why
was
it
all
was-
jumbled together.
Feels so much better too, because there's nothing before it that messed up any of your perception going into the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like a clean slate and an awesome actor.
Man of Steel is so good.
I know I'm in the minority, but I disagree with that one. No, Man of Steel's amazing.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second.
hold on.
With the Snyder cut, no.
So are you the only one who disagrees?
I guess I ate the wing for being the only one wrong.
So we
know.
all
like
the hot takes.
even my hot take, like
so we all agree that most of us or all of us agree that DCEU is pretty trash.
Yeah.
And then most of us also agree that
that wasn't even the original thing.
that was
no, okay, no. So I don't eat a wing because I kind of agree with him.
Yeah, but then he piggybacked off of it.
But
and
was
said
that your
he would
actual
add
hot
to it.
take?
He said that he would add to it.
Okay,
That's
all
my
right,
actual
all right.
take. There you
I
go.
didn't know that was the rules. That
it's a new
The only one.
I thought it was the person who brought the hot take
I
the
thought
one
I
who
was
eats the
Justin.
wing.
I thought it was the person who
He gets off. He gets off.
I was
Good, he's
like-
stayed. His lawyer got him off.
Forward. If you're the only one with opinion that doesn't agree with everyone else,
Note to
then that's
Note
a
to
win.
self. Time to leave. It's like-
So that's a win. I mean, come on, that was what we were doing this episode.
May I end our friendship now?
Oh, Corey's got something.
All right. I started off with a bunny cake earlier.
Got scoot in.
My real hot takes are
Nobody
starting to
knows
come
what
in
it
now.
means.
All right, give it to us.
I think that the only superior opinion that you can hold in this regard, specifically,
Spit
Is
it out,
that-
dude.
Today,
The
Drew-
Legend of Korra is so much better than Avatar: The Last Airbender.
We can't hear what you're saying.
I'm so sorry.
pounding on the table.
The Legend of
Yeah.
Korra is so much better than Avatar: The Last Airbender. It does not even compare. From villains to bending to character development to the Avatar.
Hold on. I just want to take a moment to compliment your underwear. Because they're containing this massive set of balls that you would come on to something that's going to be recorded and put on the internet and say to the world, Legend of Korra is better. I don't even want to finish that sentence because I don't want somebody to cut it and make it look like I said that. Avatar, Atla is so much better than The Legend of Korra.
It's really not though.
There's really no point in even arguing this because I don't think anybody agrees with you.
I've never.
What? Yes! No!
Legend of Korra is way better.
Get up here, David. Get up here.
Crazy.
All right, watch the camera. Watch the camera.
Crazy. Look at my last piece of food. I'm gonna be out.
God, man.
I've never even seen you.
Let's get this one. All right. First of all,
Let's get this one.
Fire Lord Ozai. The ending of the show, Ozai sucked.
Very.
No, he didn't. He was, first of all, did you not see him obliterating, scorching the earth with the power of. Yes?
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
He literally had the strength, one man destroying continents. Like, had everybody quaking in their boots at him. Had fucking Iroh, Azula, Zuko, everybody. Like, nations. People were terrified of this man. Like, this guy is a
Because
very.
of a comment.
The comet buffed his strength, though. Regardless of the
he was
comet,
still
he was still
able
the
to
most feared firebender in
Take over
existence.
most of the world without the comet.
You also said in a up and coming episode that the Fire Lord was only in like one season.
But they built so much intimidation around him, though.
And that doesn't make the show not as good as.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it does.
They had villains.
Then
leading-
that's like saying Lord Voldemort isn't a good villain either, and it makes that the Harry Potter.
But
movies
listen,
bad
they-
because
he
he's
wa-
not in half of them either.
He was in it.
the show still had other villains.
He was.
Zahir, Aman, and Kuvira are infinitely better villains than Fire Lord Ozai.
They had Zuko, Azula, Admiral Zhao. They had good ass villains in Atla before Ozai showed up too.
Nobody compares to Zahir and Aman. Aman take away-
Zuko doesn't.
Oh no, we got another redemption arc.
Yeah, the villain got a redemption
That's
arc.
written.
Yeah, potentially the best.
Yeah, like okay, good argument there, Corey.
And
Dave,
hold up.
What?
You let me down.
In The Legend of Korra, the character development that you see with Bolin, the love triangles that actually
You mean
aren't
how
linked-
Bolin is benched the entire show and then gets like an episode where he gets the lava bend?
Agree. I feel like Bowen.
talk smack about
Character arc.
He gets
Andrew.
totally curved by
Andrew.
Korra. Curved.
Andrew, talk smack about lava bending right now, please.
Lava bending is cool. It is honestly, I've not seen anything that makes it like better than the other sub bending elements. Like lightning's cooler, blood bending's cooler.
Talk about Nuktuk Hero of the South disrespectfully again, bro. We gonna have a problem. Talk about Nuktuk disrespectfully.
Nuktuk is that guy. Korra's a really good show. It's a phenomenal show. It has great side characters, but you're putting it up against possibly the best show of all time. Like, I just don't know what else to say. Atla is perfectly written from beginning to end. Which show has a better ending? You're going to tell me that the Legend of Korra ending, which is cool, she stops the giant laser of spirit energy. You're going to tell me that compares to Aang spirit bending the ability to firebend out of Fire Lord Ozai, overtaking his spirit, refusing to kill him.
The Legend of
And
Korra.
like
She became an entire spirit
she became
and fought
okay.
the entity of evil.
Are we talking about season two? Season two?
Avatar
Yes.
story.
That was the worst season of the show. That was the worst season. They fucking retconned that shit. She never did
Okay.
that again. She never did that again because everyone hated it.
Okay.
You guys hated having an explanation for the Avatar. Make it make sense.
What?
The over-explain. They
No, it was too much. It wasn't written well.
just like
It was-
Metachlorians.
Legend of Korra wasn't written well.
Season
Legend
two-
of Korra actually
Season two was
Season
not.
2.
Oh, whatever. But
Do you agree?
Season
well, yeah,
2
but
Legend
it's
of Korra.
overall better
what-
than
name
Avatar.
the season in Avatar: The Last Airbender that wasn't written well.
Silence. Crickets.
Honestly,
None none of them. All of them are great. Top tier.
They get better
I will
with each
say-
one, and the first one is amazing.
I will say the first season isn't as they do get better, but they're not as good as Legend of Korra.
Just this next.
They
also-
agree with us.
easy.
They agree with us. They
This is-
just
We're
don't
not
know that they-
agreeing.
My thing is, I think also sometimes that you guys can relate to Avatar because he is a boy that continues it. I think Legend of Korra, she has so much more to. First of all, she has to clean up everything that Aang had put in.
You mean the beautiful Republic City and the peaceful, prosperous land?
He also was a piece of shit dad to his kids. He also had to.
You're giving evidence why Legends of Korra is bad because they fucking wrote that shit, and that pisses me off that they made
still
Aang a
wrote
bad
it.
character.
Because that's true.
That has nothing to do with Atla. Atla was perfect, and then Legends of Korra came and made Aang a bad parent and a bad avatar. They screwed with a good show. That's the worst thing about
That
your
isn't
own
character
show that
development.
you're defending.
Yeah, I'm not saying Avatar isn't a bad show. I'm just saying Legend of Korra is because of the actual storylines that go into
Saying
it.
Legend of Korra is a bad show.
No better show.
I hate
Avatar-
what they did to Aang. They made him look like a douche with a chin strap.
But that doesn't
and
mean it's bad writing. That means the character evolved in actual
evolved. He didn't evolve. He devolved. He was a man. You're looking at a dude who would. Everyone in the world, his past selves, literally himself, was telling him to kill this man. And he, like Luke Skywalker, was like, hell no, I'm going to find another way. I believe in peace and pacifism. I believe in doing the right thing. And then, like,
So 20 years.
and then sacrifice his fatherly duties to, like, pick one kid and be like, you're the most important. I love you. Ignore my other kids. Like,
did this
this was a good, pure person.
How did this even come up? What was your point here? Because that character development was in Korra.
Wait, what?
Did you like that
Yes.
character development?
Oh, in Korra?
Yes.
Yes.
Of Aang.
Yes.
It's
And it's very realistic for
It's
somebody
realistic.
of Aang's status. Like
Yeah.
his main goal was to protect the world, but that means sometimes you sacrifice things like family.
Dude had the weight of the entire damn world on his shoulders from a 12-year-old boy and
doesn't
ran
make him a good
at it,
father.
ran at the Fire Lord, and now he's running from
Why
doing the
can't
right
he-
thing as an
that-
adult.
That's what I'm saying. Why can't he mess up?
It's also letting
He's not infallible.
but it's
That's
also
what I'm
it's not
saying.
just him.
I think it's so cool.
Katara's accountable for it too, and that's screwing with another
Okay.
character I love. She let him be a bad parent. She let him ignore two of their kids. Like she let him
Why
basically
does that make it a bad
abuse two of their
story?
kids.
Because
Yeah,
you
I'm-
evolved your characters. Because they evolved their characters. That
Yeah.
the actual creators wrote.
Yeah, no. I see where you guys are coming from on this particular point. Like, what parent has parented their kids perfectly?
100%.
You know, like two in the back.
This is beyond imperfect. This is really beyond imperfect. It's like it's not like he made a mistake and went back and fixed it. It was their entire lives until he died that he treated his kids like neglected two of his kids.
I will say that
The Avatar, a lot of people need them.
from the very first 30 seconds of the
His
Legend
kids,
of Korra,
most importantly.
I think you are encapsulated into just enjoying it so much. The second that Korra bursts through the door and she's just embodying everything that is wanting to be the Avatar, where she's just shooting fire, kicking rocks up, water here. She's this little toddler.
What about the airbending?
Where was Aang's firebending at?
Mastered it when he was 12. When did she master airbending again? How old was she?
I don't see
Like
how that
17.
makes-
Why does that make her? Yeah.
makes
Why
the
don't
show
have
better or worse.
Yeah.
That doesn't make the show better or worse. Aang.
Better character, stronger avatar.
Corey dodged a wing.
Yeah.
I did dodge a wing. I'm just saying,
Lucky. Lucky.
there's no luck here. That it is, guys. Please in the comments.
A lot
tell
of
us
y'all
why.
also agreed that Thor Ragnarok is a terrible movie. So
Because it is. Because it is. Come on.
I got it. Thor, all the Thors are bad.
No one can
movies.
trust anyone's opinions after this day. We'll all be.
this episode is
This is gonna go into the vault. They're gonna stack this on the shelf next to the Batgirl movie.
this episode's
air
gonna get
this.
millions of views because this is gonna be hate views.
It's going to be us arguing in the comments with
right.
ourselves.
Well, we know who has bad opinions in this room now, and David, thank you for now being my favorite friend. Thank you.
Here, I got another one. I got one queued up.
All right.
I don't know how the world's gonna feel about this, but I'm probably about to eat a wing. But I'm gonna say, not only is Andrew Garfield the best Spider-Man,
Bro,
but Tom Holland is the worst Spider-Man.
grab that wing, bro. That's crazy. Tobey Maguire, you're saying Tobey Maguire is a better Spider-Man than Tom Holland. You have to compare. We already did this. We did this.
Yeah,
we've
did.
done this before. Tom is the best Spider-Man.
Okay, let's not get carried away.
Tom's villains are geriatric, and also like,
Vulture's supposed to be like that.
but this next villain is like a 50-year-old man, so it's like
I get a Stark suit, bro. Tom got a Stark suit.
Who's geriatric?
Vulture.
the Vulture, and Jake Gyllenhaal's super
Wasn't
old
the
as well.
octopus old too?
Also, neither.
Wasn't the
Thank you.
Green Goblin old?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
One of their powers was a wingsuit, and the other one was the ability to trick him.
Goblin? Because he has a wingsuit and he's old.
He's a glider, first of all, so maybe you should watch the movie.
Basically the same thing.
Bro,
But he also has superhuman strength, so and like he is way more formidable of an opponent than the Vulture.
Right, but how
Has anyone agreed with you yet?
nobody's agreed that Andrew Garfield is.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Andrew
I'm ready to
Garfield's
eat for
the
this.
best.
I'm ready to eat for this.
Andrew Garfield is the best.
I agree with
Tom is
that.
the worst. So that means Andrew, Tom, or Toby, Tom.
Yeah, Andrew, Toby, Tom.
Andrew Tobey
Spider-Man
Tom is
2?
a crazy take.
How's that, bro?
Dudes, well, Miles would be peak, but no, the actual best Spider-Man, Yuri Lowenthal, Spider-Man PS4. But the yes.
I don't know what that is.
The thing is that Spider-Man 2. Can we not agree that Spider-Man 2 is probably better than all of Tom Holland's movies?
Yes.
So his movies aren't that good, especially once you remove the recency bias.
Stark suit.
The third-
2 words. Stark suit.
That makes him not Spider-Man.
He's never really had to struggle for much. He's got a rich benefactor. Like he never had an uncle, apparently. I don't see it. I don't see the Tom. He's like
It works for the MCU.
Just because they didn't follow source material.
He's carried on the
why
back
not
of the
Tom?
MCU. The MCU literally
Tom's fault.
is the only reason that it works.
What? First of all, why do you get penalized?
I'm talking
for
about
not
Tom's Spider-Man.
following-
Maybe it's not Tom's fault, but I also think Tom Holland is kind of like, I don't know. I haven't been that impressed with anything he's done in general. I like him as a person.
he has it written down in his notes that Tom Holland is overrated.
Why are you reading my
Holland's
notes?
not overrated. All right.
What's Tom Holland's best movie? What's his best performance? Spider-Man: No Way Home.
That freaking movie where he like almost dies. And
The Impossible.
The Impossible. Yeah.
I can't help but notice you didn't know the name, so it can't be that good. What, Cherry?
I know a lot of the Leo movies that you
Who
mentioned
talks
earlier.
about, who
either.
talks about Devil all the time after a week after it came out?
That movie's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good. But pretty good is just pretty
Andrew, I
good.
have a question. So why are we penalizing Tom for the MCU?
He's a great
material
actor,
not
but-
following source material. That doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Listen, I will say No Way Home is good because of Andrew and Toby.
Yeah. The
If
movie.
they were not in it, the movie.
Mostly, honestly, because of Charlie Cox, if you ask me.
You guys are telling me that 35-year-olds are better Spider-Man than the teenage kid.
Andrew Garfield's not freaking 35 in the movie. Like he's playing a character.
That was
He could
common
be my
practice in the
dad.
early 2000s.
Homecoming doesn't start until they get to the hotel. It's like
It's like an
It's like an hour of like, okay, let's get to the.
We never see him really in a powerful way interact with New York. New York is not a full character in any of his movies. He's like absconding to other places half the time in his movies. It's cool, sure, that he's an Avenger. It's cool that he has the connected universe, but that's like a crutch. Like his Spider-Man is not like a Spider-Man that I connect with.
It's a
I didn't
crutch that the
cry when
movies
Aunt
are
May
better.
died. I'm like, I don't know what I was supposed to feel there.
I feel like you're very like
You're a hater right
book
now.
Purist.
You're a hater right
No,
now.
I'm
Has
really
to be
not.
You're being a hater right now.
The exact representation.
You gatekeeping.
Of what the
You're
original
gatekeeping.
story.
The Dark Knight isn't even
You're
like
gatekeeping.
an exact representation of what the original story is.
The only Spider-Man I've ever really been introduced to is the live-action movies, and if I agree with him, then I don't think that's really a good point, you know, because I've never read any comics of Spider-Man, never played the games, never done.
Yeah, but he's over.
Oh, they
here
won't- they
saying,
probably
like,
can't- they
"Where's
probably can't hear you,
Uncle
though."
Ben? Why isn't he poor? He's like pointing out all these other.
I've only watched the original Tobey Maguire trilogy, the original 2 Andrew Garfield movies, and the Tom Holland trilogy. I've never played any games, never read the comics, so I think Andrew's opinion is valid.
Thank you.
You were supposed to eat a wing, bro. That's crazy.
Dodged it again.
Wild.
That's crazy.
That's why I'm here.
That's wild.
Not the hero that we asked for, but he's the hero that we need. No, guys, I'm telling you, like, what has really moved you from like Tom Holland Spider-Man? Like, where's the love? The action isn't as good. The scene of Andrew Garfield like in Times Square is like better than anything Tom Holland does. I mean, Toby's smoother.
I'm not prepared to say that Tom Holland is a bad Spider-Man, but I might be prepared to say that Andrew Garfield is a better Spider-Man. But I don't hate the Tom Holland stuff. It just, for me, I don't know. I feel like
I'm sitting at a table with 3 haters.
I don't hate Tom Holland. I like Tom Holland.
I love, and I sometimes I argue that Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man, but when I sit down and think about it, and I always make the point that he is arguably the best Spider-Man because he has so much more of a world to play with. Like,
That's not his fault.
and I agree, and I see what you're saying. That's what I'm thinking.
But just watch him in the
But if
suit.
we're
Watch him
thinking
as
just of
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. We don't even have too many good scenes of him swinging through the city. as
And he's not
Spider-Man.
that funny. He's not that quippy. Like, he's
Andrew
not that
Garfield-
creative.
Andrew Garfield he's funny in the suit. The way he swings through the city, like I forget which one it is, but when he first jumps off that roof and you can
Yes.
see the suit like reacting to the wind, like the
POV shots.
That is
But do you
a
think
lot of
Toby
Spider-Man.
is better than Tom Holland's Spider-Man? Because that's what he brought up.
Toby, watch him. He's actually super badass. He fights really well, and he's very funny. Like, it's dry. It's
he's
drier.
actually not-
It's
he's
drier
not
humor.
funny.
It's drier humor, but it's
Bully
funny.
Maguire.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd say
Yeah,
it's also though. It's also like kind of a sign of the times. You know, like the
Yeah,
movies
but that doesn't-
of those that
doesn't
era are a lot
excuse it from-
different. And I agree. I don't know if I'd say that
It was bad.
if I like Tobey Maguire more than Tom Holland.
So I totally agree with both of you that Andrew's the best live action Spider-Man, and we got one in the back that agrees as well.
No wing for
But
Andrew.
I don't think Toby's Spider-Man is better than Tom Holland.
Still love it. I still love it. I know I would never say those movies are bad. I even like Spider-Man 3. So
I have a request, guys.
Spider-Man 3 is not as bad a movie as people talk about it.
I agree.
I would
I
agree.
completely agree.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
No, like it's not the greatest, but I don't think it is.
David said it's a good movie.
Make it sound.
It's a decent movie.
It's decent. Okay, decent. We can take. All right, who's next hot take? I was saved.
I have a non-comic book related hot take if you guys would like to hear.
Yeah, lay it on us.
All right. Also, I have a request. At the expense of it might be me. I say the next wing must be doused with ghost pepper wing sauce because we haven't eaten a wing in a minute now.
So it's building up.
I think 3 wings deserve some ghost pepper wing sauce.
Let's all just disagree with
Corey,
That's
just
crazy. All
asked for it. All right, what's the hot take?
right, my hot take, because people seem to hate on him all the time. South Park's Eric Cartman is one of the greatest cartoon characters of all time, and his character allows the creators of South Park to perform satire at peak level.
I don't think that's a hot take.
Really?
Not to me.
Everyone on Twitter hates Cartman
What for?
because he's over the top. He does crazy things like it's a
Yeah.
show.
I mean, it's not like
But would you
Oh.
say he's one of the greatest cartoon characters of all time?
legend.
People quote him all the time.
I thought you guys
Dude, like-
could be on my side here.
Like especially as far as like comedy, like Adult Swim, like you've got like Cartman, you've got like Stewie Griffin, Bender. Like these are some of like that's like some of the round table of like best animated characters. Archer, I love Archer.
Okay, I'm not eating a wing. Wow.
Zach, you look like you got something teed up.
Yeah. So my hot take here is that while I do love Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series is better.
I disagree.
I can't help you there because I've only seen. Yeah.
Thanks. So you
haven't
guys
seen
just
Superman.
are uncultured.
You set yourself
I
up
see.
there.
I honestly, he could get off on this because I have not seen every episode of. I've only seen some of Superman the animated series, so I guess I can't definitively answer either if I haven't watched all of it.
So I never watched Superman the Animated Series as a kid. I always only watched Batman the Animated Series, and that's all I've known. And I love it. It's near and dear to my heart. But recently I watched Superman the Animated Series right after finishing Batman the Animated Series, and I like loved it. I was like, how have I never seen this before? There's like crossover characters. It's just like, wow, this show is like really well done.
You know what's probably like a really hot take is that I think I like the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show from like Disney XD better than I like the 90s Spider-Man TV show.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that
Which
one.
one has Spider-Man not able to?
Is it
punch
not
anything?
so good? It's so good.
That one.
The '90s one or the XD?
That one. The one he's talking about.
The You mean the one where the Spider-Man can't punch anything? Is the one you like?
I've never noticed him not punching anything.
the one where Morbius has little tentacles coming out of his hands instead of.
So I watched it when I was like in middle school, so I don't remember the details. Maybe as finely,
Alright.
maybe as finely as you.
You have to die on your hill.
Walk that one back. Walk that one back.
But no, I do remember liking it a lot, and I've watched some episodes recently because my nephew was watching it.
That's my boy.
And it's just really fun to watch. It's funny, it's entertaining, the dialogue's good, the animation's pretty good. You get to see all kinds of hosts of characters. You get to see like Wolverine, Hulk, Deadpool. You get to see Venom, Carnage. It's cool. I dig it. I mean, it's unfortunate that Drake Bell is the voice of Spider-Man, but
Andrew has endorsed.
hold on.
Easy there.
Drake Bell, you got your biggest fan over here.
All right, so Zach's hot take went over really well, and Corey's hot take went over really well.
Wow, I didn't think the Carbon thing was going to be received.
Corey, give us a hot take.
All right,
Give us
let's see.
Give us a Corey.
the
hot
Corey
hot take.
The Cora one was a
The
real hot take.
Cora one was a me hot take for
Do you
sure.
guys in the back have more?
Hawkeye's the best MCU show.
This is
You're
ridiculous.
high.
Hawkeye's the best MCU show.
Here, douse this thing. 'Cause-
Hawkeye's the best MCU
Well,
show.
hold on. Let's go around the room. Best MCU show, if you were not counting Daredevil, I would say, man, it's
We're
tough.
not counting Daredevil.
Are we talking just Disney Plus?
Disney Plus.
I would say Captain America and the Winter Soldier because of the last episode of Moon Knight. Otherwise, I would pick Moon Knight.
Wait. So you're saying Captain America is the best?
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is the best show because the last episode of Moon Knight wasn't good.
If the last episode of Moon Knight was good, then I would have picked Moon Knight. Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it a butt with you. I can't pick Captain America because after what they do with my dog Isaiah Bradley, I would have never picked up that shield. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Anthony Mackie.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You're too far.
Watching it was a good time, and now it's at the bottom of my list.
Really,
But it's Hawkeye at the top of the list. Is really all that matters right here.
Look at that smile.
Aaron? What do you have at number one?
I have. Sorry, Brooke's trying to call me. She's
So listen,
trying to say her best MC.
Just come in here.
I don't know
Just come
why.
in.
let me. Who should? I can't trade with him. I gotta.
And it didn't work. Okay, sorry. Derailed there for a second. Best MCU show. It's either for me.
It's not Hawkeye.
It's Hawkeye,
It's
bro.
not Hawkeye.
He
It's
made it
either-
home before Christmas.
You gonna let me talk?
I'm sorry, Aaron.
It's either Loki or Moon Knight. I was disappointed with the last episode of Moon Knight for sure.
He's about to agree with
Loki's really good too. Hello, Brooke.
Bro, have you guys seen the scene in Captain?
I would like to phone in. I heard Corey say that Hawkeye was the best MCU show, and he is wrong.
Wrong. And cut. Thank you, babe.
Well, he's not eating a wing because I can kind of agree.
Wait,
with him.
what? What do you mean? Kind of agree with him? That's your favorite show from
I will
MCU?
say Hawkeye.
David's face is in the background. I hope you're on camera.
I will say I think technically WandaVision is the best show made from the MCU.
That's most well made, but
Most well made.
what's the best one?
But the best one is Hawkeye.
For what?
That is the one
Why?
I could go back to and actually watch a second time.
It's
That is-
funny you see
that
Clint
is the
Barton with
one-
no superpowers. You see the Ronin, bro.
Yeah,
That is
Clint
the
Barton
one-
always has no superpowers, by the way, because he sucks.
Bro.
Sucks.
The only good scene,
I like him as a character.
the only thing that I would probably enjoy rewatching is the use of the Pym arrow.
They
And-
also like completely misplayed using Kingpin.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah, but
so
they're-
disrespectful
they're-
to the Daredevil show.
Yes, but I know they were
You
not
can't have
gonna
a
hold
button
up to the
for that.
Daredevil
You
show
can't.
anyway. So like I wasn't. First of all, I wasn't really expecting it. Second of all, I was like, this is not the same Kingpin, so I'm
Yeah,
okay with it
But it's the
because
same actor, so it's like
I still have 3 seasons of Daredevil that I can watch.
I know, and they just disrespected it.
They really,
But-
they
Yeah.
really did.
But
Bro,
it's-
Kingpin is
it's
superhuman in
Disney's-
that.
It's the Disneyified Kingpin. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
superhuman.
which means we're gonna get a Disneyified Daredevil, and it's gonna suck.
But Disneyified shouldn't mean
But
worse.
I still
Yeah.
have the 3 seasons. Yeah, it should. It should. Nowadays, yes, it should.
Tom Spider-Man. It's a great one.
No, I think Hawkeye was the one I had the most fun with, the one that I could attach to the most as far as the story goes, because Clint himself. Like he's the only character in these shows that I had spent the most time with.
I don't know, man. It's
Sega Genesis.
Do you guys remember the scene in Falcon and the Winter Soldier when Bucky's getting deprogrammed and he's like bawling, crying? Like,
No, I
felt.
don't.
Do you remember
Felt
that scene in
emotional.
Hawkeye where?
I'm with you. I think that's probably my favorite one.
hell yeah,
you-
Zach on the team.
Do you remember the scene in Hawkeye where Clint Barton is in front of the Avengers Memorial and he's just crying, thinking about Natasha, and then he goes,
Not,
"All right."
Not one tear shed. I just watched it. He's emotional.
He's emotional. He's emotional.
Hey, do you remember when they did the Avengers musical in that show?
I can do this all.
Oh, day.
Did you not watch that entire thing?
Unfortunately,
Yeah, it was kind
I didn't.
kind
We
of
all did.
messed up,
Exactly. We all
Doesn't mean
did.
that it makes it the best show.
You sat through it,
Post-credit scene. We all watched the post-credit scene.
but
At the end of the day, he's not eating a wing.
I'm not eating a wing. Hawkeye is the most.
here to save.
I want to see
It's the most enjoyable show to watch. It was funny.
How is it the most enjoyable show to watch?
It was
James
funny. It had its moments of intensity. I love seeing the Ronin. You get your handy capable inclusion. What else? What else more could you want?
Yeah, I mean that's
And Florence. Got him.
I just don't even know how you could in good faith say that Hawkeye is the best.
Bro, I even wore the shirt. I'm not capping. I'm not capping, bro. I'm not capping. I wore the shirt for a reason.
It's worse than Moon Knight for sure. It's worse than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's worse than WandaVision.
Worse than Loki.
Moon Knight's my second.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's
Yeah,
my second.
Moon Knight's good.
Loki's probably my least favorite.
I think Loki's good.
Everyone likes Loki.
Hawkeye's my least favorite.
I don't
Like I said, I can't watch WandaVision again.
I don't like
think,
WandaVision.
but I think it's technically the best made.
Dude, the creativity of WandaVision, of
Yeah.
like the different styles of shooting in every episode,
think-
I leaped out of my seat when they did an episode that was themed like Malcolm in the Middle.
That's why I think. That's
I
why said
love that
yeah.
show. So just to see that like representation in there for such a like a fan favorite show like from my childhood, it's so cool. Everybody kind of has their moment in that show, the characters and the audience because of all the different styles. Like this is a really cool show.
I just hate that when you boil it down
Somewhat
to
boring
like
in
the very basis of it, it's just Wanda Maximoff throwing a temper tantrum. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, Corey, not once but twice, has now belittled the concept of your entire family being murdered.
What is grief if not love, persevering?
Persevering. Oh man! All right,
Oh, upset.
go on.
Bro, my family gets murdered, so I get to take over an entire town. Oh my god, bro, come on.
Doesn't get to, but let's go on to the next hot take. I'm done with you, Justin. Do you have one?
Get you out of here.
I do have one. I don't know if it's
This
a hot take though.
Yeah, this is a hot take in some groups, but in this group, I'm not sure how big of a hot take it is because I know Justin already agrees with me. Right? The
I don't know what you're gonna say.
I mean, you're in it, and you're like, we have this one. It's Eternals is underrated.
Yes.
It's a good show or a good movie.
yeah.
Say, hit me with Eternals is better than. Give me an example.
Eternals is better
Thor
than
Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok,
Thor,
Disagree.
Love and Thunder, all of the four.
Thor Dark World.
It's definitely not better than Thor Ragnarok in my opinion.
I'm in that boat, but I do love the Eternals.
The Eternals is good. I think it's a good movie. I left theaters like that was good and so shocked to see everyone hating on it.
Justin's like it's better.
Better than Quantumania.
Yeah, it is. Eternals is better than Black Panther. I don't care if I get.
Bro.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You think that? Oh.
No one's gonna agree with me, but it's not my hot
That's
take.
a wink, bro. That's crazy.
What's his name?
Bro, he said Eternals is better than Black Panther.
It is. I mean,
You brought that up. Not me.
That's from the friend list. That's from the secret.
Aaron, do you think Eternals is better than Black Panther?
he's not gonna say.
No, I
yes.
think I have Black Panther rated higher.
Yeah, just
I don't
so
have to think about
he
that.
doesn't have to eat a wing. That's what he's gonna say.
How do you have to think about that?
just so he's not. You wouldn't.
What do
He
you
wouldn't
mean? I
have
just
to. 'cause
said
you
that
just
it's
said
like-
that.
Undoubtedly,
know,
it should be.
You know what? For that reason, I don't agree with you. I think actually, no, everyone else agrees.
You're not.
Am I actually eating a wing? Am I actually eating a wing?
Well, according to your rules, if you didn't bring it up first, even though you
Listen,
did,
if you guys actually take my take as serious, I'll eat a wing.
I think you should.
I could rapid fire some
Hold on,
takes.
the next
I have,
one was
I have,
Ghost Pepper stuff. I
I have quite a,
hit me with something, Andrew.
I have quite a few left. For my next one,
Let's go back.
Should I? I will. Never mind.
Let's go back and forth. Let's go back and hold on, guys. Stakes,
One after you.
stakes are being raised.
Oh my god. Let me pick a safer one.
Stakes are being
Wait,
raised.
so you said rapid fire?
Yeah, let's just fire them off because I
Okay.
got a lot that aren't comic book related or MCU
I don't want to
related.
do that.
You got one, or should
I have quite a few. I'll go first.
All right.
I'm gonna say Avengers. Oh god.
I? Yeah, you're not gonna win this one.
I really don't want to.
You already started.
Avengers 2 is the best Avengers movie.
Nope.
Yes! What? Yes! Get up here! Get up here, you beautiful bastard! Do you really agree with me?
I seriously do.
Thank the heavens. He just put so much of this freaking hot sauce on this wing. I'm not good with spicy stuff, and I haven't had to eat a wing yet, so I'm not warmed up.
I got one.
That is
And
crazy.
I know I need at least 2 yeses in this room for this because if you don't give me a yes, you just don't you don't have fun. The Fast and Furious movies are good movies if you stop taking them so seriously. Like they are I will go watch every single Fast and Furious movie for the rest of time because you're not supposed to take it seriously. It's a car in space, like chill.
The way that you worded that though, like you kind of
It's a good
worded
movie
it-
regardless.
Well, listen,
That's a cop out.
you worded it with the way out. You're
It's a
like,
good movie if you don't rate it as a movie.
If you don't think about it at all,
You're not
and you
supposed to think
close
about
your
it.
brain down, then yes, it's a good movie to watch. Like, no, is it a good movie or not?
It's a good movie. All the Fast and Furious movies are good movies. I will watch all of them till the end of time.
You support the one where they had a car in space.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not?
If you like them, then why aren't you watching the new ones?
Hobbs and Shaw? Yeah, cool, let's go.
Yeah, but Zach, you also go to the theaters to watch other movies that you deem worthy enough. So
He's
you
not
obviously
gonna
don't
win an
like
Oscar.
these that much.
I only see superhero movies lately because I am poor.
Fair enough, but how many of the Fast movies have you watched on streaming afterwards? They're on streaming, right?
I think they're on Paramount.
all the way up to like 9.
Okay, so you've seen a decent amount.
No, then you would have seen the car in space.
9 was in
Up to
space.
8.
It just keeps going back.
I've seen up to
But then
7.
you would have seen when he did this.
It's all about family. Is all I'm saying.
I haven't seen Hobbs and Shaw and On.
Hobbs and Shaw's bad.
That's what I haven't seen.
It's all about family.
Yeah, but Andrew, if you close your mind
You close both eyes and then
Yeah.
plug your ears.
and you don't
And sit in a
actually
bunker.
think about it, it's good.
We're just pretentious, apparently.
Bro, you guys just don't want to have fun.
Here's a potential hot take that I have. I think that the DCU is in good hands. And
You don't like spicy food?
announcement today, David Cornsweet is the new Superman, and I think he's the perfect casting. He looks the part, and he feels like Superman. All right, listen, hear me out. James Gunn is a creative at heart, and we have seen the track record of all his last 4 movies have been very comic booky, and people have loved them. So I think that he is the perfect choice to lead the DCU and craft the story. And the David Cornsweet guy, or Cornsweet, he just looks so Superman-y
So
to me.
American. He sweats corn.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think anybody's arguing with you here, so I have a hot take to kind of branch off that,
Okay,
unless
so
anyone is
I-
disagreeing with Zach.
No.
I think the DCU is in good hands, but I would also say that I think James Gunn is overrated as a director, and I think that the Guardians movies are, besides the third Guardians, not very good. I don't think Guardians 1 and 2 are what they're cracked up to be.
Definitely not too.
I don't think 2 is that good, but 1 is great.
Yeah, I think 2 is also kind of mid, but
One is okay. Like it's
I think
it's,
one's pretty
one
good.
has a very
One
iconic
as good
soundtrack, but a
as-
soundtrack doesn't make a movie.
Like, as good as it is, 1 is the main issue I have with the rest of the MCU because everything else after it wanted to be Guardians 1.
that
It's
which
not their fault though.
It's not.
They
wait,
they
whose fault?
pulled it off.
No, not their fault. I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's the only issue that arose after Guardians 1 came out.
nobody really reacted poorly to me saying that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Guardians
everything.
2 is definitely the worst one.
Because you kind of gave yourself away out.
Well, I'm not gonna.
Guardians 3 is really.
I mean,
good. So,
obviously, I'm not-
Kind of like
That's that's my true opinion though. Guardians 3 is good, but the first one, I feel like people love the first one, so I thought there was going to be some pushback on me talking bad about the first one.
But-
the villain is nothing. Not much really happens about the story. They form a team.
So then word it like that. Say it like that.
Did I?
Say that the first Guardians is not a good movie. Say that, and then we can see if everyone agrees with you.
What I just
I
say?
got one that'll tag on
I
like
think
that.
it's
That'll
good.
piss everyone off. I don't really want to eat this wing though.
Do it.
Guardians 1 is better than Avengers 1.
That's so wrong. So wrong. Infinitely wrong.
Oh man.
I can go back and watch.
I don't think that's true.
I can watch Guardians 1 again right now. Avengers would be hard for me to watch because
No.
I can
How would Avengers
I
be
could
hard for you to
watch
watch?
both.
There's so many
it's
I could watch
entertaining.
both.
drag. It's a drag nowadays because Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame are out.
Dude, the conversations when they enter the helicarrier and it's like
Yeah,
Bruce
it
meeting
feels like
Tony,
they're on the
meeting
helicarrier
Steve,
for
like
the
that's
whole
so
movie.
entertaining.
Dude, I love that movie.
But the sets are so good on the helicarrier.
On my listing, I have Avengers in 13th and Guardians of the Galaxy in 12th.
He had to check his list to find out what he actually thought.
There's so many movies to figure out where they're at.
That's crazy to me.
No wing, no wing.
That's crazy.
Hot take. Avengers 2012 is Cap's best suit.
Oh my god.
No,
No,
no.
Make him eat it.
that is
Make him eat it. Make him eat
That
it.
is the worst suit.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's the best, most like comic book Captain America suit.
Glued. It was like somewhere on his
body. my-
Winter Soldier's the best suit.
Yes.
That's like,
Even Age of Ultron.
but everybody gets a stealth suit. That's like,
No, Winter Soldier,
Dude.
Ultron, and
you guys are crazy.
Zach, what? Defend this. Bro, defend this, bro.
Defend
It's the best suit.
Hey, audio levels.
You just scream, you just scream, and then you're right.
that's not Captain America. That's
far
Captain
from the
Puerto
mic.
Rico.
He looks like he's wearing pajamas.
David, you gotta save me here, man.
Nobody said
Super spandex.
God damn it.
Super Spice.
The Star Spangled. That's the only worst suit is when he wears during the first Avenger like skit
You gotta
dance.
yell, man.
This is crazy.
But why is that one?
How did
Why is that one
wing?
kind of better?
He got Zach's apparently got the most controversial opinion.
I have another one that kind of falls on the back of this Avengers topic.
So cold now. It's like an icicle, dude.
It's gonna be hot.
Look at the way he's eating it.
Yeah, just take a bite, man.
Bro, just bite it.
I'm getting
I gotta watch this.
He's literally wiping all the sauce off
That is
his
a
thumb.
huge
Do you see him?
That's his
I gotta see this.
He's wiping it all off with his fingers.
I'm putting it from my fingers on just back onto it so you guys don't cry.
Oh, it's a big bite.
This is so hot. I'm not gonna be able to eat that. Hold on.
No. You got it. You got
I
it.
just took some skin out. It was grossing me out. It's cold.
Those were freshly prepared for
So
you,
what
sir.
was your take?
Okay, my take is
You just
I got you, bro.
He needs water.
all right, Zach will be right back. He's walking off camera.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, my next hot take is Avengers 2012 is not better than Transformers Dark Side of the Moon.
Wrong. Wrong.
Transformers 3 is better than Avengers 2012.
Aaron
It's
holds
much easier to understand. You should have said it like that.
Aaron
I said
holds,
Avengers first because that's what we were talking about.
Aaron holds the Dark Side of the Moon Transformers movie like up on this pedestal that like I don't think the rest of the world does.
As he should. That
No,
movie is phenomenal.
I'm gonna save Aaron here and say that I really, really like.
Better than Avengers 2012?
Bro, I could watch Dark of the Moon tonight.
It's a much better rewatch.
But you're saying
than the first Avengers.
You're both saying that? I mean, the first Avengers is so iconic. There's so many moments like I still laugh at like so much of that movie.
It's iconic, but it's not.
On rewatch.
It's not one of those iconic movies that has rewatchability for me. Like,
There's so much action
I
in it.
agree.
It just feels like if there is, I can't remember
Super
besides
quotable.
the last fight because I just feel like that's a helicarrier movie.
The last fight's
Like-
also
like,
the
that's
last
what
fight's
it
also
is.
like 30 minutes long. It's like a lot of
And
action.
there's long, big fights
Yeah.
in Transformers Dark Side of the Moon that I think are better.
Yeah, I think that movie.
They're not having to balance as many.
Zach, get back in here.
Like, it's, I think it's better.
You already got two people.
You got
Yeah.
You're safe. You're safe.
I have a
I
question.
really thought that would.
No, you know how
not-
much I love Transformers. That's why Rise of the Beast review for me was.
I'm gonna take a page out of Andrew's book. I have a question. So we all watch comedies here. Everybody's watched the Tyler Perry movie, right?
I've seen.
I've seen a Tyler
almost
Perry
all
movie.
of them.
Like, at least you've watched one Tyler. I know, Dave. You watched all the Tyler Perry movie. All right.
Look at that.
I'ma
That
say-
nod was so.
I'm gonna say this: if you haven't watched the Tyler Perry movies, just don't comment. I don't think Tyler Perry.
You missed it.
You did miss it.
Dude, this bitch said that Transformers Dark Side of the Moon is better than Avengers 2012.
I agree.
And I had 2 people agreeing with me.
3 people in this room said that.
Yeah.
Which one's Dark Side of the Moon?
It's like the third one.
Dark of the Moon.
So the one where they recast Megan Fox.
No.
Bro, are you kidding me? Optimus Prime slays the original 6 Avengers. I'm just.
He clears all. He's
Thor would beat Optimus Prime's ass.
Oh no, I think Thor would hear his voice
chill on
and
Clint
he would
Martin, bro.
shiver.
Optimus Prime.
He'd be like, "I am Optimus Prime."
Wait, who? All right, Corey, are you?
I got a couple. I'll start off with I don't think Tyler Perry has ever made a good movie ever.
Well, I mean, if we're going off your Fast and Furious statement, then I think he has made a lot of good movies.
I think
Because
Tyler Perry.
Your brain up.
yeah,
No.
if you turn your brain off, all of them are good.
I think Tyler Perry really leans way too hard on black stereotypes, and that man just. I don't think I've ever laughed at a Medea movie ever.
I'm actually gonna. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, I
know.
have laughed genuinely in Medea movies, but it's not that often. I'll give you that.
They're bad.
There's
But-
one really funny one. I won't say it, but it's pretty hilarious.
I just think Tyler Perry is a bad director.
Well, while we're on the topic of comedies, my hot take is going to be that Parks and Recreation is better than The Office.
I've never watched one episode of The Office, and I've never will or feel inclined to, and I never will for the rest of my life. You won't convince me ever.
So The Office is funny, but I haven't watched all of it. But I also haven't watched all of Parks and Rec. But I'll tell you, working in Parks and Rec, that show is fucking hilarious. Okay, it is very much like that.
Very much like that.
So,
Just dox yourself.
am I the only one in this room that's seen both shows in the entirety?
I haven't seen any Parks and Rec.
I haven't seen.
I am a firm believer for that the rest of my life, I will never ever turn on episode 1 of Game of Thrones or episode 1 of The Office ever. For
Wild.
any reason.
I mean, they're good shows.
Never. I've never felt inclined to. I feel
He's a
at this point-
contrarian. He just wants to upset people by telling them he hasn't seen it.
I watched Tyler Perry movies and they're all bad. I'm sorry.
And Fast and the Furious?
So the thing that turned me off about Game of Thrones is the fact that everybody complained so bad about the finale. I don't think I want to turn on episode 1 just to be disappointed.
But there's
I'm not gonna do it, bro.
There are so many shows that don't end good, but the beginning is great.
So I have a hot take, but I just want. I know not everybody's gonna agree on this, but I want to see
Zach over here eating his pop.
who I can really trust. Cap was right. Who agrees? Who disagrees?
Bro, Tony Stark was right.
Tony Stark was right.
Tony Stark was
In
Tony
Civil
Stank
War.
was
Captain
wrong.
America: Civil War.
You think Cap was right?
Cap was right, 100%.
Cap was right.
Bro,
Cap was wrong.
There's no debate.
Hashtag Iron Man was right. Yeah.
Hashtag Cap was right.
So how many do we have on Iron Man? 1, 2, 3.
I'm your only real friend.
I lean towards Iron Man. Yeah.
Majority for Iron Man. 4. 4
I
for
mean,
Iron Man.
what do you think I was gonna say when I had that horrendous take a few episodes ago?
No one can say.
Yeah.
Cap is the reason that my dog Rhodey is in a like paraplegic suit, bro. Cap was so wrong.
No, that's actually
Not
Tony
Cap's
Stark's fault.
Yeah.
They would have never been fighting if
Exactly.
Cap didn't.
Vision
Exactly.
wouldn't have been. Jarvis wouldn't have been envisioned to operate the Vision body if Tony Stark never built Jarvis.
They would have never been squaring
Tony
up in
Stark's
the
fault.
middle of an airport if Captain
Corey
America
just shouldered him away from
wasn't a
him.
jerk. No,
I wanna go-
I will die. I will not. I'll die on this hill. Come back here.
I'm so shocked that Corey thinks that Iron Man was right because Corey's so like go against the grain and like Cap stand up for what he believes in, and Tony Stark's just bending over for the government.
Bro.
And Corey of all people is agreeing with it. That's blowing my mind right now.
So this is what's getting me. I can't agree with Cap because he's also agreeing with Winter Soldier. Bro, he need to go to jail.
He was mind controlled.
He was
And they were trying to bring
goes
him
into
to go
my
to
point.
jail for a crime that he didn't commit.
Really, I'm on
They
a.
weren't going after him from his previous crimes. They were going after him because they thought they.
But I mean, they
on
were
the
following like predominantly like good evidence, like video recordings of him walking away
Yeah.
from the crime scene. So like in their defense, but
They weren't going there to kill him.
I want to go through my hot takes until we find an arguable one because I feel like
All right.
we need to find
make us mad.
We need to find some spice. We need
You
to
guys
find
should
some
just
heat.
list the ones I don't want to say.
Where's the next wing? Where's the next wing?
I'm gonna say
I'm ready to eat a wing.
I'm gonna say The Lion King. Not a very good movie.
Bro, why are you on this?
Terrible pacing. Terrible.
Up, man.
You're bringing up pacing in a kids movie.
So the movie.
You see, get the fuck eat a wing.
You know, bro.
Can I defend myself?
I mean, all you're
Does
eating.
anyone agree? No. No.
The
But
Lion
just
King
here.
is a terrible. You're fucking.
I didn't say terrible. I said not good.
It is.
Not good is terrible. That's a wing, bro.
It's The Lion King is not good because the movie is freaking super basic. Then they basically like copy Hamlet or something. Like,
I didn't get to argue
I've never
against
watched
Age of
Hamlet, I
Ultron,
don't
so you
care.
get to defend your point.
I don't care.
There's like no good action. The songs are okay.
Are you kidding me?
I will debate though. If you're saying it's based off of like Hamlet, all the Disney like princess movies are based off of an original story that was in Disney's.
Okay,
I mean,
So
there's-
many movies.
there's
and
nothing new
stories
under
are
the
based
sun.
Off of something
other
else.
stories. Yeah, like
For
there's
somebody
no
that loves
original
source
idea
material-
anymore.
For somebody that loves source material as much as Andrew, he should love The Lion King.
The thing about The Lion King, right? It is not entertaining to watch. The best character they kill off in the very beginning, the best voice actor in the whole thing. The songs are not that good.
Timon and
Bro,
Pumbaa.
the score alone
I just can't wait to be
is one of
king.
the best.
There are
Andrew, I think you need to-
Amen, Corey.
every song
Eat the wing.
every song
Eat
is
the wing.
Let me,
Eat the wing.
let me
Eat
say
the
my
wing.
piece.
Eat the wing. Eat the wing. Eat the wing. With the spice.
I'm sorry. There is no way on God's green earth I can agree with you on that one.
Aren't they so much better ice cold?
Andrew doesn't do good with hot and spicy food,
Oh, I think
All right,
that's
so
done.
he's told us.
I got one that might make you guys mad. I don't know if
Worth it.
It's
Was that
burning.
worth saying such a terrible idea.
It's burning like all around my tongue. Like it got the extra sauce has got all the, it's on my lip. My lips are burning.
I know Andrew's not going to agree with me. Regular Show is the best cartoon of all time.
No.
Regular Show is the best cartoon of all time. The best cartoon ever made,
Better than Korra.
better than The Legend of Korra, better than Avatar, is Regular Show. Mordecai and Rigby.
You realize,
Muscle Man.
You realize how many
High Five
cartoons
Ghost.
there are?
Benson, I'm saying Regular Show is the. Go back and rewatch it right now. I still. All right, I'm gonna expose myself real quick. I rewatch Regular Show like 8 times a year. It's always on in the background. Just, it's the best show ever. It's the best cartoon ever.
I've never seen it,
Bro.
but I feel my first thought was thinking that feels like someone saying 40-year-old virgin is the best movie ever made. I don't know why I just immediately made that comparison, but
I personally have like a vendetta against that era of cartoons because it went from like Justice League
To Flapjack and Chowder and
Those are
Regular Show.
good shows.
to Flapjack and Chowder.
Good show.
And
Great show.
Corey, just
Flapjack
because
is
you
bad.
yell, it doesn't mean that you get your point across.
Amen.
All right.
Great
All
show.
it does is make it to where all of our viewers and listeners cannot hear anymore.
My tongue is
Great
tingling.
show.
are you okay, Andrew?
Andrew's in pain.
The Regular Show has funny moments, but I think even just Amazing World of Gumball is better. Is that a hot take? I feel like but
Yeah.
Regular Show, every episode of that show feels like not only the same thing, but it feels like they're making it up as they freaking go along the whole time. Like it feels like the voice actors are just looking at each other and then they animate it after based on whatever they say.
I'm sorry, Andrew. Do you hate fun? Are you hating on fun right now?
Does anybody agree with Corey?
No.
Bro, that's cat. That's cat.
Share a
bro.
wing? This one's spicy.
That's cat.
I still feel it.
Okay, I got one.
Am I putting ghost pepper on this? Is that what's happening?
Yes, that was your idea, remember?
I don't remember whose idea that was, to be fair.
At years.
Honestly, I feel like I handled that really well. I suffered in silence.
You did, besides the fact that you're bringing it up now.
Proud of me.
Oh, it's so cold.
Right?
It's so cold.
All right, I'm gonna do a double take.
Everyone likes The Lion King that much?
Yes.
Yes, The Lion King is
The villain's uninteresting. The main character is not that likable.
Scar is top 2 Disney villains.
Timon and Pumbaa are cool, but like, they can't put that whole movie on their back.
And they don't.
They don't. They put on Simba, Mufasa, Nala,
That movie takes,
Scar,
like,
Timon,
of them.
Pumbaa, Zazu.
It's
like,
only like 110 minutes long, and it takes like 50 minutes to actually start that movie. It's just like set up and like they spend so like they go into that like land with like the
Eat
elephant
a
boat.
yeah, eat another wing.
I already ate my wing for this. I can't do that.
Brought
yet.
it up again.
No, yeah, that's sad that you think
bad.
that.
The end is underwhelming as
It
well.
was so bad.
Justin, what were you about to say?
I was about to do a double take because I don't know if either of them are really hot takes, but if they both are, I'll eat 2 wings.
Oh shit!
Or take
bites.
two bites.
Two bites,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that Batman Arkham Knight is the best game ever made.
Okay. I thought it was going the whole total other way. I panicked.
And I think The Boys is the best superhero show ever made. Live action.
Better than Daredevil? Better than Daredevil.
Yes.
That's hard pass.
It's tough. It's tough, but I think The Boys is consistently better than Daredevil is.
No way.
There are some episodes in
chance.
Daredevil that I would consider
We're still
skips.
talking about-
The Boys, I can't skip anything.
You good, Corey?
That was so bad.
You put a lot on there.
It wasn't the
Can
heat,
you
it
can
was the cold.
I mean listen, can you not like okay, so season 3 has everyone seen Daredevil? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, season 3 of Daredevil, one episode immediately I think of is the Karen episode. That episode does not need to be there.
It's a good episode.
It's a
Upon
good
rewatch, it's a good episode.
It's a good episode, but in the sake of the overarching story and consistency and just like for sake of making my point, 10 out of 10 solid episodes, that one does not need to be there for the story. The Boys, I can't look at an episode and be like that's filler or that's not like top
But
tier show.
The Boys is just like that stretches things out so much. Like there's episodes that yes, they move the plot forward, but it's like you could have got to that so much quicker. Like
I mean,
The
you
Boys
can,
definitely
but like
has a lot of like shock value to it.
Yeah, but I
It's
think
so
that's mostly all of it is. Like, the only story is Homelander's nut job, and how much can we
God,
make
say that.
something? How much can we make something blow up with blood? Like that's the show, and it works. I love the show, but I definitely wouldn't say it's better than Daredevil.
Yeah, I think it's a very good interpretation of what superheroes would probably be like if they were actually around. Like, there's no way that most of them would be as good as like Captain America or Iron Man and all these
Superman.
other. Yeah, like Superman,
Yeah.
just pure gold. You know, like I think it would be a lot more blurry, a lot more political. So I really like the show The Boys.
So-
I think it's really funny, and it definitely keeps me interested in every episode. But I don't think it's the best superhero show ever made.
pick a
So
side. Yeah.
you
What was
guys,
the other thing you said?
Arkham Knight is the best. Did
game.
they say video game or
Yeah.
superhero video game?
Video game.
Okay, video game. Yeah, I mean that's still what I think, but
My favorite video game.
yeah.
So,
All right,
you know,
good on that one.
Pokemon.
I mean, I really like
Lose me there.
It's tough because Last of Us Part 2, I kind of.
I've
But
never.
I can
yeah,
see it.
never played
I'll concede to agree with you on that one.
All right.
But I feel like
So you guys all specifically would put Daredevil above The Boys? Because like I love Daredevil so much. It was my top superhero show until I watched all 3 seasons of The Boys. I just feel like The Boys is more consistent, and not that Daredevil isn't. I think there are some weak points. Like I didn't really like the Triad that much. I thought that Punisher in season 2 was way better. I thought Kingpin is just a goat. But The Boys, each new villain they've introduced, I've actually enjoyed. I love the character of Homelander. I love all the characters that they introduce. I feel like all of them make sense. So that's the reason why I think it's the best superhero show ever made.
I honestly
Live action, not animated, because
Oh,
that's a
okay,
different
okay.
story.
I was gonna say.
There's other ones that I think could be better.
Yeah, I think Daredevil's definitely better.
Corey, back there deciding what opinion's more heinous.
Come on, I agree with you on
All right. So
Be real right now.
we're going Daredevil versus The Boys.
I guess that's what it is.
No, any superhero show versus The Boys.
Live action.
Any superhero show versus The Boys.
Which means no MCU, because nothing touches Daredevil and The Boys from MCU or Punisher. I guess they're in the MCU now, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. What do you say, Corey?
Oh,
Do you
what that
agree with him or not?
includes the Watchmen HBO series as well.
I haven't seen that. backwards. That's good.
Cannot definitively say The Boys is the best live action superhero show.
David?
I cannot. There's some stuff that you could put up to it.
What would you say? Like, I need to hear.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like,
I'm.
Come up towards the mic.
yeah.
There's very little about production here.
I'm putting.
No, pick a
Oh, it
mic.
better not be something stupid.
I'm putting Moon Knight up against The Boys.
Okay, let's not get carried away.
It was such a good watch.
It is really good.
Show. Why not put Hawkeye?
I'm putting hot. I'm saying, hold up.
First one to come to
He can't even keep track of his own ridiculous takes.
I'm putting
Hawkeye doesn't hold a candle to The Boys
Amen.
or Daredevil or
Amen.
Punisher.
All right. The point is, you don't agree with him.
No, I
David,
can't.
do you agree with him?
I can't be on your side.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
agree that Daredevil is way better than The Boys, as well as The Watchmen. If you guys have not seen The Watchmen, it is a masterpiece.
It's a good show. It's a good show.
I need to watch that, but I wanted to watch.
I didn't like the ending.
Original movie.
Bon appetit.
I wanted to bail you out, Justin, but I can't. Man.
Here you go,
Dude.
sir.
I thought Arkham Knight was gonna get shunned more than The Boys, but I guess Batman always wins.
Dude, David, the Looking Glass episode of that show is so good. We're just
I
like,
love the twists and turns. That it's so good. And to it, I just love how it continued. And the Calvary, one of the best villains.
Oh
I
yeah.
can feel the spice on my skin.
Like,
Yeah, dude, we got a microwave these things.
here, I'll bring another.
Get on the thing so I can actually take a bite.
Somewhere.
I don't know if how anybody's gonna feel about this opinion because I don't know if anybody like feels strongly about this. Justin, you might be like my main
Actually tastes
component
pretty
for
good, but
this.
it's hot.
So as you're dying, I'm gonna address you for
Do
maybe
you have any
this one.
water?
Nope.
Do you want to share? I want to say
That's gonna burn.
that I'm saying for the cameras, I think Stanley Kubrick is massively overrated, and I think 2001: A Space Odyssey is his worst movie. Not a good movie, not entertaining, and it is not the fucking angelic godsend that people act like it is. #1 movie of all time. It is not. It's great for the sci-fi genre, great for inspiring things. Whatever it did, it's cool production value, but it's so boring, so long, so bad. One of the worst movies I've seen.
So are you?
Thank you for nodding along with me, David.
I just recently watched that, and
Me too.
Me and my boyfriend were trying to figure out what a good sci-fi movie to watch. A great sci-fi.
Yeah, guys. Rotating. David's coming on. Justin's evacuating.
I want to eat more because I'm so hungry. But
Watch the cameras.
I agree that Space Odyssey is a very boring movie. I feel like it has done great. It was a great inspiration for a lot more other sci-fi movies, but it's so slow.
There's no words for the
there's-
first like 20 minutes.
There's
The
just a
fir-
bunch of chimpanzees
for like the
eating each
first
other with a
10,
bone,
whole 10, 15
which I
minutes.
thought that was very funny, but the rest of the movie, it's like wah, wah.
I guess I'd have to agree with you, only because I haven't seen it.
Andrew,
You don't have to.
I will say I'm agreeing with you, but the people in the comments are going to crucify us.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Space Odyssey.
You're not allowed
No,
to
they
have
will.
this
They
opinion.
will. If you look at any like film bro Twitter, like film TikTok, like
You cannot have
people
this opinion.
treat this movie like it is. People think it's literally the best movie of all time. Like it's not rated that way on IMDb, but like film bro people think this movie is like so good, and it's literally so boring. Like there's one shot where they're carrying this thing down into like a dig site, and it goes on.
Do they, like-
For I shit
do they,
you
like,
not, like
staring at
5
paint?
minutes.
Like, what
No
they-
words.
Like Jesus.
Did they? Yeah, honestly, like I could literally watch like just like a spool of yarn like unfurling for like and be the same amount of entertained.
I could watch a Tyler Perry movie.
Yes, I would rather watch a Tyler Perry movie.
I would rather watch Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon.
Bro, come
I would rather watch a Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh shit! It's getting out of hand.
brother.
Ghost Rider 2. Ghost Rider 2.
Spirit of
Good movie.
Andrew, you know me really well. What are some of my hot topics?
Oh, let's talk about Django.
Oh my God. Let's talk about
Django's a
Django.
good movie.
What'd you rate it? Look in your search history and find your rating for Django. We'll argue if it's better or worse than what you rated it.
All right. Give me 1 second.
You know what's very
Say no spoilers. I have not seen Django yet.
We'll just talk about how good it is.
yeah, that's a hot take.
It's been so recommended to me that I'm almost scared to watch it.
Oh, jeez.
It's so it's
Oh, it's so good.
I want to watch when I'm ready.
But
you're ready later. Go home and watch.
I can't believe I expected to get slandered for talking bad about 2001. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Oh, we're gonna get.
Like Hal is an interesting villain, but it's like I expected him to be so much better from the way people talk about him. Like I don't know.
I mean, it's cool that they were talking about AI back
Yeah.
then, and now it's like even getting more,
Yeah, and you watch the
now.
production, like it's cool sci-fi, like the way that look like they're walking in zero G's and like they're rotating in place. They built a contraption for that, but then like there's also these exterior scenes in space where he's like flying a little pod, and it goes on for like 8 minutes of just silence. Like there's so little words in this movie for what? I know that there's not other characters, but write more characters into the fucking movie.
Okay, I found my score.
Oh gosh.
You're not saying Stanley Kubrick is a bad director, correct?
I don't think he's a bad director, but I think he's
You were talking about 2001 more specifically.
more specifically, but I do think Stanley Kubrick is like a middle tier director. Like I can see the artwork, and I can see that his attention to detail is insane, and he can put on a production. But like the movies, I'm just not blown away by. Like Full Metal Jacket is good, you know, The Shining is good,
The
but
Shining is my second favorite movie of all time.
it's probably his best. I mean, I think definitely his best. But like Clockwork Orange, having to sit through that and having to sit through 2001: A Space Odyssey, like I can't put myself through Doctor Strangelove. Can't do it.
Okay. My rating for Django Unchained was a 6.9
Blasphemy.
based off
Below
of our
a
rating
7.
system. And my lowest score was the sound design. I gave it a 5 out of 10. And I think
Hold on, keep that open.
I just closed it.
What'd you give the rewatchability?
A 2.5 out of 5.
My dad
Yikes.
would totally disagree. My dad watched that movie. I still watch that movie on repeat.
Guess
Like
I'm your
every
dad.
time. My dad watched that movie. He
I feel like
loves
you have
that
to
movie.
be in a very specific mood to watch
I
That
don't.
movie and Van Helsing.
No, yeah, you don't have to be in a specific mood because there's action, there's romance, there's comedy, like
I know,
there's
but for
history.
me,
It's a
just-
period. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
period piece.
For me, though, it's like very vulgar, and I have to be in a specific mood to watch something like that. Like,
I guess
can't
I don't
just
think of it as
throw
that
that
vulgar.
on the TV,
Just bloody.
anytime, you know, because
I mean,
it's
it's
like,
not a-
oh, like this is a good movie.
It's tough
Like,
source. It's tough
for
material.
me, it brings the rewatchability,
emotional
down.
stuff.
Don't wa-
Okay, so I want to actually take this time to thank our listeners, anybody who's made it this far into this super long special edition episode. This is really important to us, making it to 100 episodes, and we're just having an absolute blast hanging out with our friends in the studio. So congratulations to us for making it this far. Congratulations to you if you stuck it out and listened to this super long episode, but I think it's super fun and very funny, so I'm definitely going to listen to it. But you can find us putting out new content every Monday and Thursday. As far as full episodes go, we put out, shorts and videos on all platforms every single day. Make sure to keep up with us, give it a like and a follow.
And we're dropping merch.
Oh yeah, we're dropping merch on the Etsy store. Don't forget to check that out.
Yeah.
But we were talking about Aaron giving the amazing movie Django Unchained a 6.9 for his rating, which was just me and him in here in the studio when that came up. So I didn't have anybody to back me up. But can everyone say and agree that this is ridiculous?
Yes.
Yeah. And the reason that it was
He
brought so
agreed.
low-
Ridiculous.
I haven't
Here,
seen it.
let me explain. For our ratings, we have all those 6 categories. The sound design I gave a 5 out of 10, which really knocked it down quite low. And I can't remember exactly like what made me say a 5, but I do remember not overly being impressed with the sound design, mainly because like I don't know, the spaghetti westerns just isn't like my style. I don't really like the big whips and I don't know, and I'm not really a big fan of the opening song either.
Django! I love that song. I love it to death.
I don't love that song as much as you guys.
One of the best parts about the movie.
So if that's my hot take, then whatever.
He rode
But, like,
a horse.
Yeah, so I think the sound design is what really like brought the movie down to a 6.9 or whatever it was. So
Yeah, I think you said you didn't like the zoom in shots too, right?
yeah,
Didn't
but
like the
with
zoom
that,
in
I gave the
shots.
cinematography a 7 out of 10, and I definitely still agree with that.
Can't believe you said the sound design took you out of the movie. I think is specifically what you said.
Yeah.
But that aside, Aaron's safe because his official hot take was that it's a good movie. So not really.
I said it was a good movie. I asked you if you knew my opinions, so I asked you to like bring something up that most people don't agree with, and you said Django, but I think it's a good movie. It's just not my favorite. So
I
if
do.
it's not your favorite movie, raise your hand.
I mean, I haven't seen it, so.
So I will move on to my hot take then, which is that Fellowship of the Ring and A New Hope are both super boring, and they're both set up. Man, Zach's hand shot up. I thought he was gonna hit me. They're both super boring, and they're both setup movies. Like they're both just very expositional and slow, and I do not enjoy watching either of them.
I haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
I can't agree.
my god.
For either? Or
Either.
For Fellowship?
No. Fellowship, definitely not. A New Hope.
A New Hope is the worst of the trilogy, is it not?
No, Return is.
Really?
Yeah.
The action's so much better.
Really?
in Return.
I
The black
used to-
suit, studded out, the green lightsaber, the fight with Darth Vader at the end. The movie's sick. The redemption arc, throwing Darth Sidious into the...
No, there's great. Return's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. I just think it's the least best out of the trilogy. And that's an iconic trilogy. So I think all three films are good.
Still a compliment, okay. Okay.
I mean, especially when you're comparing it to the prequel and the sequel trilogy.
Nothing
That is-
happens in A New Hope. Like his Jedi training is like at one point he blocks his eyes and
No,
I mean, I'm not
I agree.
the.
It was really boring.
it's a slog to get through.
I am not. Keep in mind, I'm not the greatest person to argue for Star Wars' sake, but I have. When I first watched Star Wars: A New Hope, I hated that movie. I thought it was boring, just like you. I thought it was pointless. And then rewatching it a few more times, I realized that this was made in 1977. It's not like this was made in 2020. You gotta put that in perspective. Like,
Isn't
and the fact that it's original.
Isn't
Like,
that kind of similar to Corey saying if you turn your mind off?
no,
watch a
no,
movie,
it's
then-
not, because I'm talking about like the level of like cinema quality they had to reach without the tech that we have in our day and age. Just talking about the visual aspect of it, but also I think the story is actually good, and I think. I mean, Mark Hamill's kind of cheesy sometimes. I'm not saying he's the greatest actor ever, but the character himself I like.
Luke is a good character. I
Yeah,
mean, but A
and,
New
like,
Hope
I
just really, I don't think does any really good character work. And
was a good character.
But the fact that you
Disney-ified.
like, yes, I don't
Disney
really agree
strikes
with A
again.
New Hope, but I definitely do not agree with Fellowship. So I guess that still means I don't agree for either.
I think A New Hope is a great like movie. I do know like it does have slow pacing. It has very slow pacing. I wish it did cut, which I think A Force Awakens is basically like
shot for shot.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
the same thing. pretty
but
much.
it's a little more faster paced, and you get to kind of get into the character a little more.
Because our
You get to know a
attention
little
spans are
Rey.
shorter now too.
Well, there you go.
But I think that also Star Wars is super repetitive as a franchise, and I think as like time has diluted it, it's just gotten to be where it's not that good.
That's kind of on purpose, though.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
they're showing like a cycle of the Force.
Well, even with the Mandalorian, the season after season of Mandalorian is the same shit, different day.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up next. Was that I think Star Wars is a little overhyped.
Well, the story of like the Skywalker saga is like history repeating itself. It's like a story of the Force, like kind of coming in waves and
Finding its balance.
But they have so many good stories to draw on and so much good source material in terms of like books and comics that they leave by the wayside in favor of doing the same shit over and over again. Why? Like, entertain me with
Well, I
something
mean,
new.
Yeah, I would agree, I guess, to that point, because the stuff that they've done that has been different hasn't been received well. Like Rogue One, I love that movie, but a lot of people don't like it.
Find new
Solo,
fans. Like,
I don't think Solo is a bad movie, but people don't like it. And some of the other, I can't think of the other.
Rogue
stuff.
One is
Boba
great. The
Fett is
Last Jedi.
trash.
The Last Jedi is not as bad as people crack it up to be either.
It is not.
It's just let them do something different. Let Ryan Johnson tell a different
Star
story
Wars
and
is tired.
don't get cold feet.
I mean, don't ask the cast of Fast 10 that, because they think Fast is god tier.
And they think Star Wars is.
Yeah.
They think the MCU is tired, right?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
they say.
They're like, the MCU is so repetitive and just outrageous.
yeah,
Yeah, what's her name? Michelle Rodriguez said that.
so like not
It's-
self-aware.
It's so pretentious. It's like,
Like, I'm sorry, didn't you die and come back to life?
11 movies in a row.
That we're all the same.
yeah.
I don't know if this is a hot take at all. I feel like I've got agreement on this. I feel like I don't have to eat a wing.
I mean, I didn't
agree with you on
Okay,
at
Aaron
least
does.
A New Hope.
Safe.
that it's boring.
Well, A New Hope is definitely boring. I feel like that's a fact. Even if you like it, it's boring, right?
Yes.
I mean,
okay.
it probably,
I don't like it.
it's
I don't like
probably the
watching
most
it.
boring out of all three, but that's not saying it's a bad movie
I think the
for me.
prequels are better than the original.
That's a hot take.
I agree.
I think the prequels are doing something more unique, telling
Yes.
a different story.
Do you want to know?
I appreciate that.
Do you want to, in good faith, do you want to not let me eat a wing if I say this one that I was going to say?
Go for it.
Because I just thought it was hilarious that I like thought about it, but I was like, I think Batman and Robin is better than Phantom Menace.
Wait.
Wait,
Fantastic. Is that what you mean?
No, like Phantom Menace, because both are horrible movies. But I think that Batman and Robin is
Zach
better.
likes Batman and Robin.
oh,
Yes. That's my favorite of the old Batman.
as far as like entertainment, 100%.
Okay, I didn't know.
And the Phantom Menace does have a lot of slow parts.
Wait, Batman and Robin's the one with Batgirl as well, right?
That's the
Or is
one
that Batman
with
Forever?
Schwarzenegger, and
I think you're right. I think it's Batman and Robin.
that's the one with Clooney. Clooney,
I'm so bad
Schwarzenegger.
at names. I'm so bad with names.
I'm bad at names too.
I think Robin has Batgirl.
It gets kind of
think so.
convoluted because Chris O'Donnell played Robin in 2 movies with 2 different Batmans and the same Alfred and the same Commissioner Gordon. So it gets kind of.
We do have the internet.
So
we
the
could find the
DC
answer to this pretty
DC
easily.
We don't want
always
to. But anyway, that yeah.
While we're on the topic of DC, my opinion that I don't even think is going to be a hot take as far as this room goes, but maybe for the internet, is that DC is better than Marvel
Yes.
What?
in general.
Overall, yes.
I completely agree.
If you disagree, eat a wing.
David's a big fan for X-Men. I know this.
But he also is a huge Green Lantern fan.
So my thing is, again, like, I like them both, right? I wouldn't say DC is better than Marvel. I think Marvel really set the tone for what superhero comics are now. I will say DC's the new 52, when I really started getting into like DC, as far as like the comics, were way better than Marvel. Like Marvel had to catch up with that. As far as like movies and televisions, Marvel superseded and set the tone for all cinematic universes. Period. I think animation wise, I think to be different because they were losing in the movies, that they went more with a cartoon more for adults and had more adult just storylines.
They made a really good animated cinematic universe.
DC, right?
DC.
Yeah.
Also, Marvel did too. Marvel's a lot of their like XD like Disney like Spider-Man's, like all of them started connecting. Even in the 60s when X-Men animation was there, they were connecting with the Spider-Man TV series. They were connecting with all the Fantastic Four TV series. Even like the Ultimate Marvel, if you ever read those comic books, they are so good. Read Ultimate Fantastic Four. The way they do Doctor Doom and the way they like construct the Fantastic Four and change how they became their powers, fantastic. Ultimate Thor is probably how we got to the cinematic universe. So I think people just forget about the Ultimate Universe and they had to do like a better continuity, and that's why they came up with the 616 like universe.
But I agree with you that the New 52 was a good line of comics, like the Flash line, Superman Unchained, the Batman New 52. Like I think they were good comics.
It helped. Yes, you're right. I do think that. And I think that's what
Justice
Marvel
League.
had to like catch up on. But I think Marvel took it even further and started developing comic books that were also intertwined with the movies so that their readers weren't as confused and the continuity wasn't crazy. That we didn't have a Joker movie that basically lived in Gotham, but then we have the Robert Pattinson Batman in 2 different universes. You know what I'm saying? Or like...
The movies are more convoluted for DC, but don't you think the Marvel comics are more convoluted?
No.
I feel like I have an easier time stepping into the world in DC comics and like understanding.
Because I just...
Start over so many times.
Well, DC actually started over a lot more compared to prior to the 52. If you really look into it, they were so convoluted. That's why I forget his name that created the Green Lantern. He created the Flash. Jeff Jones. He took over that aspect of the company and really did what Joss Whedon did for the cinematic universe. And that's why Jeff Jones actually stepped up to be the DC like head runner or whatever you want to call it. But then he backed down, obviously, because of Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers wanted just to make cash cows. I think that's why when we talked about the DC like universe movies and why it's not as good, it's because they rushed Justice League because they saw the tremendous success of the Avengers. They rushed that shit.
Superman.
They did. And so
I'd be rushing toward $1 as well.
they didn't necessarily give. And what I'll say is the DC comics stayed the same like rhythm. They stayed the same like tone. They just stayed the same. But collectively as a company, I think Marvel did a better job, and that's my opinion, but they did a better job to combine everything as a whole so that not only past readers would understand, but then a new generation would understand.
You
know what I
sound
mean?
like you're siding more with Marvel, to be
I am.
honest. Okay.
I thought that was pretty clear.
Well, you
am.
started off. You started this original statement saying where DC was winning. Like you started off complimenting DC way back when you.
Well, I did. I complimented their comics, but then I complimented Marvel and their way to they brought
Yeah.
everything together. As
That's
an
why
asset.
I'm trying to
And that's
surmise
why-
the final decision. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I truly believe that Marvel has, as a company, because whether it be because of Disney's backing, but like they just got their shit together as far as like all aspects of their mediums.
Yeah.
Their branding is way better than DC's branding.
But I just enjoy the DC world a lot
Oh,
more.
the DC
Yeah.
characters are way more compelling than the Marvel characters, in my opinion.
Yeah, see, I sit on the Marvel side too, because the MCU pretty much introduced me to all of these superheroes and showed me that I really liked this genre of movies and shows and stuff. So, and Spider-Man before that, X-Men before that, you know, like I wasn't into a lot of comics when I was a kid or into the animated shows or anything like that. So Marvel really like, it got it all started for me. And I know in our like MCU or Marvel versus DC episode, you were arguing how like DC is like stronger in all these other aspects, but Marvel is just so goddamn good at the movies that it's so hard to ignore, you know, and like it's, yeah, like I just, DC is so confusing, you know, like I literally only continued watching the DCEU for this podcast. Like I stopped after Batman versus Superman. I was like, this makes no sense. They have no idea what they're doing. I'm not interested.
Yeah,
You know, and I only went back to rewatch them this year or watch them for the first time this year because of this podcast so we can keep talking about it.
I cannot agree with that. I agree with the DC side because, yeah, well, I say the MCU is better than DCU. Yes, it is. But that's really the only thing I would say is better from Marvel. I mean,
Yes.
if you take away Marvel from me, I'd be fine. If you take away DC, I'm losing the games. I'm losing the animated shows. I'm losing,
Animated movies.
regardless of how you feel about them, I'm losing the live action shows. I'm losing the animated movies, Flashpoint Paradox, Batman Under the Red Hood, Dark Knight Returns Part 1, Part 2.
Losing McFarlane
Like-
action figures.
I mean, I am losing the Dark Knight. I am not losing the Dark
Bro,
Knight.
no chance. The Dark
Like-
Knight would go up against the entire MCU for me.
Yeah. So
The Dark Knight trilogy.
that and the music. I think the movies, just talking about the movies, I think the scores from DC are just consistently better than the scores from the MCU. I mean, Man of Steel's music alone
Oh,
is
okay.
better than any Marvel movie's music ever made. Like, fight me on that. You're not going to win. Yeah. So I would agree with Andrew on this one.
Let's go. Let's go.
And
All right.
Zach.
Fair enough.
DC side.
Marvel side. Stay over there on the Marvel side, loser.
That's okay.
I'm happy over
I'll
here.
stay over here with $1 billion movies.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you mean like the Dark Knight?
And Aquaman.
one-
And
That's
Aquaman.
one- thank you.
And Joker. Regardless of how you feel about it.
one of our movies
Joker,
doubled that.
Joker, Aquaman.
Aquaman. You know, shit talk on every chance you get. Use it when you want.
Yes, I can. I can use it right now.
Okay, I don't know if anyone's going to disagree with me on this one, but Christopher Nolan is the best director of all time.
Agree.
Okay, Inception is the best movie of all time.
Best movie
Disagree.
of all time?
Disagree.
Disagree as well.
Yeah.
Top 10.
Top 10, not top 5?
Maybe top 5.
Maybe top 5.
I have to think more about it. But Chris Nolan is super top tier. I mean, he's up there with Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino. I really like Edgar Wright a lot. The more Edgar Wright movies I watch, the more I like him. I feel like I'm probably definitely missing a bunch of the greatest directors.
Yeah, I'm blanking. I mean,
I do like Zack Snyder a lot. I like Watchmen and
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
300. And those movies are really freaking good. And nobody can take those away from Zack Snyder. Oh, God.
no, yeah. Do I already wing?
David Fincher. There we go. Love him.
Do you get a wing? I don't think so.
I don't think
No,
so.
I think people agreed with you.
Yeah, no, I know you're safe. So do we have any final closing? Zach, did you have one more controversial opinion to close us out?
Pattinson is overrated.
Aaron, you want to take that one from him?
Wait, what?
He said Pattinson is overrated as
Oh.
Batman.
Listen, I'm a fellow employee. We're peers, so we both we both work for Louis Vuitton, so it's like
Oh.
yeah, so we're peer. We're both
So you wouldn't.
employees
So you
that
wouldn't.
work for Louis Vuitton.
So you wouldn't talk shit about your.
Yeah.
You wouldn't talk shit about your.
And so
coworker.
I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't want HR to come to me.
Oh, dude, HR's coming.
Yeah, we don't bring work drama into
You
the
know what?
podcast.
Bad blood in the workplace.
You can't look
Robert's
at
gonna
that.
be like, he said what? He said,
You can't look at
David?
that and tell me that's overrated.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly rated.
Zach, I think you had to finish this out by eating a wing.
David said it's overrated.
No, I didn't.
I was trying to trick him. I'll eat one.
Why Zach's eating a wing? Do you want to thank the
I
audience?
think Robert Pattinson is not a great Bruce Wayne though.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying the movie.
He's just about to grab a wing and he's like, let me back out of this real quick.
Actually, I meant Alfred's
I'll
just
do
not
it
good.
if I have to, but
They're so
that's
spicy.
all I'm saying is that
me.
that movie is just overrated.
Gosh, man, how do you
Think
think
so.
that?
So Pattinson is overrated and the Batman is overrated. So is that 2 bites?
I gotta get rid of all this fatty.
Oh God.
It's so cold and fat. I can't.
Well, this episode's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys all for coming out. Thank you everybody for
Thank you.
listening. I thought there was going to be way more heat on my takes. I feel like we found a lot of common ground, which I honestly did think that in general it would be hard for somebody to get a wing because you just have to get one person to agree with you, and we're all kind of volatile. But I thought people were going to hate my takes more. I can't believe I only ate one for The Lion King.
Yeah, I'm
I think-
surprised
yeah.
that you're only one.
Yeah, I got
That's deserved.
I got some.
And I ate one for the boys, which was my last thought that was going to ever happen. Like,
Well, it's just the way that you worded it, saying that it's the best
I mean,
superhero movie.
I'm going to still stick to that.
I think we should come back and do another hot takes, like maybe like a while in the future, but we like formulate some new
200.
hot takes and come back
I'm
for it.
surprised Corey didn't eat more wings because he says some of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. just on
There's
a
no
daily
way.
basis.
There's no way Corey gave his worst opinions for this.
Oh yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, audience, Corey left 21 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron said that he heard that Aaron was rating Django a 6.9, which is a D plus again, and he walked right out of the studio.
It was so dramatic, but we didn't catch it.
Yeah.
We didn't catch it.
It
on
was so
camera.
quick.
So, you didn't eat a wing.
I didn't.
Did you eat a wing, David?
I did.
David had-
Yeah, you guys
Man,
backed
so
him up
you
on
had-
Dark Side of the Moon being better than Avengers 2012. That's why Aaron didn't eat a
I was
wing.
in.
Well,
I know-
I mean,
I know, it wasn't your
rightfully
fault.
so, but
I still had 2 other people on board, which I was really surprised with. I thought I would be the only one, and that I might be able to have Justin on my side,
might.
because I know he likes Transformers a lot. But yeah,
That's crazy.
Transformers is a goated trilogy.
All right, well, it is super late. I'm tired. I don't know about you guys,
I
but
came from work.
Same.
but this has been really fun. Do you have any closing thoughts, Aaron?
no, I just want to say thank you to David, Zach, Justin, and Corey for coming on the show.
Thanks to Brooke for coming in the background.
Yes. We appreciate you guys not only just coming out to do this episode with us, but just the support that you guys have given us throughout the whole time that we've been doing this podcast. Like, it really does mean the world to us. We really appreciate you guys, supporting us. So thank you for that.
Happy 100.
Happy 100 to all of
Happy
you,
100.
all of you gentlemen. Happy 100. I mean,
Happy 100.
We've all been part of this experience.
Happy 100. Happy 100. Happy 100. Happy 100.
Corey?
Thank you, everyone else who has been supporting us. No matter when you started watching the episodes, we really appreciate it. Again, we post new episodes every Monday and Thursday on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere else you get your podcasts. We also post daily on all the other social media platforms as well, so you can check us out there. We're just dropping merch. We didn't talk about it too much in this episode, but we have these shirts that Andrew and I are wearing available in both yellow and white, right? That you can check out. And we'll be coming out with more shirt designs as well, so be sure to check that link out. Hopefully it's in the comments below. If YouTube didn't let us put the link in, then you can check it out on our Instagram, Backseat Directing. Thanks again, and
That's a wrap.